Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Online International Schools Fair 2025 Day 2 from BKK Kids, Chiang Mai Kids, and PhuketKids.com. My name is Stephen Laddick. We're going to be getting started here in just a few minutes. We will be letting the room fill up a little bit. Sit back and relax. We'll get started here in just a few minutes. Once again, welcome to everybody who's coming into the room right now. If you're on Facebook or if you're on YouTube, we're going to be getting started here in just a few minutes. This is the Online International School Fair 2025 Day 2, where we're going to be talking about national curriculum schools, IB World schools, American curriculum schools, online learning, extracurricular education, and with a special focus on schools also in Chiang Mai and Phuket. So grab a cup of coffee, cup of tea, glass of water, whatever it is that you like there in the morning, and we'll be ready to go in a few minutes. Hello, everyone. Just chiming in again. You're waiting for people to come in the room here. You have found the Online International Schools Fair 2025 Day 2 from BKK Kids and Chiang Mai Kids and Phuket Kids. Today we're going to be talking about national curricula, IB World curricula, online learning, extracurricular. We're actually going to have a focus on Chiang Mai and Phuket schools as well. And we'll be getting started in just about 1 minute. Hello and welcome to everybody. My name is Stephen Laddick. Welcome to the 2025 Online International Schools Fair from BKKkids.com. Phuket Kids, Chiang Mai Kids, Phuket Kids. I always get my hands mixed up when I'm looking at myself on the screen there. This is day 2. Yesterday we had a wonderful day with all of our British curriculum schools. Lots of great conversations, lots of great comments from the community and questions from the community. I expect today to be nonetheless exciting and interesting. As we get started here, we have our first school coming up really soon in about 5 minutes here. But I just want to run over a couple of different things. One of the reasons why we're so excited to be doing this fair this year is because BKK Kids is 11 years old. Now I know that I don't look 11 years old, but we have been we've been doing this for a little over a decade now, and it's really it's absolutely fantastic to see how our community has grown. And as you can see, we now have 3 separate locations where we actually provide this wonderful kind of information about schools, about family-friendly activities, about things to do as a parent, guidance around how to survive in Thailand generally. And the community has grown with us, and we're absolutely excited about it. One thing that I want to make sure that everybody knows about is our International Schools Guide. I'm just going to pull that up here to show you. Our International Schools Guide is something that you can get over there at BKK Kids or Chiang Mai Kids or Phuket Kids for free. All you have to do is go over there, just go to the homepage of any of the websites, and you can go up to the menu, go to schools, and you'll be able to see how to download this. This is, almost 100 pages of just jam-packed information about the schools that you'll be hearing about today and many, many more, as well as, information about, how do you find a school? How do you pick a curriculum? How do you think about learning support? What's the importance of early years? There's so much more information in this guide than just, hey, here's how much the school is, and here's what the tuition is, and here's where it's located, and those kinds of things. It's a really, really powerful resource. Again, we've been doing this for a decade now, and it's really, a definitive resource about how to locate a school, how to learn more about it, and also how to make a choice, about it. The one really great feature this year that's new is that we have an interactive map that goes with it, and so I want to just show you what one of those looks like right now. I'm going to show you the interactive map for our schools here. And so, let me add it to the stage. As you're looking through, the International Schools Guide, you can also come here to our interactive map, and you can either use your, you could use the menu on the left to locate the school that you're interested in, or you can obviously just zoom in just like you would for any map here in Google. And this is really a great way to add that extra layer of I'm sorry, I shared. There we go. This is a great way to have that extra layer of information about, if you're thinking about a potential commute, where do you want to be located? Or if you're thinking about potential other activities, about, how does that fit into your family day? Or where is it in relation to other parts of the city, etc. This map can be really, really helpful. And it's not only here in Bangkok, it's also in Chiang Mai. And we also have one for Phuket as well. So that's just something to consider. Another add of resources. I'm going to be going through these resources as well as we go throughout the day. And so I hope that you'll take advantage of them as we go along. These are the schools that we featured on your screen right now, yesterday, and the ones that we'll be talking about today. This is all of the different schools that we've been featuring. Today, we're going to be talking about, as I said in the introduction, we're going to be talking about national curriculum schools, IB World schools, American curriculum schools, and we have a couple of other interesting new entrants to this virtual fair in the fact that they are virtual schools or learning support schools or services that are specific to learning support. And I'm really excited to talk with them and have their experts online as well. And right here, I just want to run down this list just so that you have all of the names of the schools that we're going to be talking today. We've got the American Chinese International School. We've got the British Concordance International School, the British International School Phuket, BISP. We've got Crimson Global Academy, ELC International Schools Bangkok, HEI Schools Bangkok and Sukhumvit, the Jump Foundation, Lanna International School, NIST International School, RIS International, International Ruamrudee School International, and SBS International School Chiang Mai, Varee Chiang Mai International School, and Unity Concord International School. And so, we're 10 past the hour here, and it is time to start on our journey through our schools here, which is really exciting. And we're going to start today with HEI Schools Bangkok and Sukhumvit. HEI Schools Bangkok is an international preschool located in the heart of Sukhumvit. It's on Sukhumvit 36 near Tonglor, the BTS station. Established in collaboration with HEI Schools and the University of Helsinki, Finland, renowned for its exceptional early childhood education system and consistently ranked as the happiest country in the world, HEI Bangkok is dedicated to delivering the Finnish national core curriculum for early childhood education and care. HEI Bangkok offers a nurturing environment for up to 100 students from pre-kindergarten, starting at 1 year and 6 months, to pre-primary, which is up to 6 years old, laying a strong foundation for lifelong learning. What sets HEI Bangkok apart is its commitment to a research-based and holistic approach. HEI Bangkok maintains small class sizes with a low teacher-to-child ratio. With qualified and trained teachers at the helm, the school fosters an environment where creativity and curiosity are at the heart of every learning experience. And I'm super excited to welcome Lizzie Montgomery to the stage with me right now. Hello, Miss Lizzie. How are you today?
I'm great, Stephen. It's lovely to be here.
The first question that everybody's going to wonder, at least the first question that I wonder is, are you Finnish?
I am not Finnish at all, as you can tell by my voice. I am from the UK. I've been teaching and leading in schools for over 10 years now, and I'm based at HEI Schools Bangkok. HEI is hello in Finnish, because I truly believe that Finnish education, especially in early childhood, is the very best in the world. And that's where I want to be leading and working.
Thank you so much for correcting me. I was calling you HEI, and it's HEI Schools.
No problem.
I
means hello.
I did not get that note in my notes there. So HEI Schools, fantastic, wonderful. And I didn't mean that in a derogatory way. It's just I was wondering, because if I'm honest, all my time in Bangkok, I don't believe that I ever met a Finnish person. So I was just wondering, how that worked out. But that's fantastic.
Yeah, we do have a strong Finnish community at the school as well. Lots of families working with us, and a lot of other families from Europe, and we're a truly international school. So we have children from all over the world, but more and more my parents are looking for that really strong start for their children. What's the very best start? And as you said in your beginning introduction to us, it's regularly comes top of the leaderboard for child mental health, well-being, and also outstanding early years education, and the happiest country in the world. So.
You just stole my thunder. You just stole it right there. Like, there's, I and many people, as it was said in the introduction there, we know Finland to be one of the happiest countries in the world, right? I think you kind of trade places with Denmark and Costa Rica or something, those kinds of things. Tell me how that translates into curriculum and how that translates into what a school day looks like.
Yeah, so we have, as you said, small class sizes. We really, in Finnish education, that relationship between the teacher and the student is really, really key. We're co-founded by the University of Helsinki, and they helped us develop our curriculum, and they really want to develop that deep bond between the educator and the child. So we're a very small school. Every teacher knows every child's name. It's that sense of developing a community. A lot of people describe us as a village school in the heart of a city. So we spend a lot of time nurturing the whole child. And one of the things we always have in our mind is the 7 magic years, which are the first 7 years of a child's life. In Finnish education, we hold this in our minds because it's where 90% of your child's brain is going to be developing. So all of those neurons and pathways and all of those new experiences that you expose your child to in those first 7 years really impact them for the rest of their, not just their learning, their education, but the rest of their life. So that's what we're all about at Hay Schools Bangkok.
Fantastic. We already have a comment from one of our community members here. I just want to throw it out there so we don't miss it. If my child goes to Hay, how can they transition into other curricula for senior school?
Yeah, excellent question. At the moment, we are still early years based. We take children up until age 6, 1.5 until age 6. A lot of, in Bangkok, as you know, as this forum illustrates, there's a lot of choice. And I spend a lot of time nurturing those connections with schools we call Friends of Hay. So there is no finished school primary education in Bangkok yet, but there are a lot of international schools that we work very closely with because they align very closely to the Finnish core values and to our early years curriculum. Lots and lots of different schools that we work with. A lot of IB schools because we are inquiry based and project led as well. Sorry.
We just have a little bit of delay there. I apologize. I didn't want to talk over you. Why don't you finish your sentence and then I'll ask my question.
Well, we are project and inquiry based. So at the moment, our children are working on a theme called My Inner Circle. And my educators use that as a jumping off point to expose them to all the different learning opportunities and the curriculum that we have. And
what would that, have you developed a process or, a structure for for learners that are at that 6-year-old stage to work with the parents to sort of say, hey, look, here's a suite of potential partners that you can go to, or how does that look?
Yeah, definitely. In the term 1 of their last year with us in our K2, I hold a pathways workshop where I'm talking to my parents of my oldest children all about the different options. In Bangkok, it can be quite overwhelming. So they really rely on me to guide them through, some schools have different assessment processes, what the different curriculums are, British curriculum schools, American curriculum schools, IB schools, and how they align with the Finnish education so the parents can make that right choice for their child.
Are there plans to scale beyond year 6 or a 6-year-old?
Not at the moment, but we strongly believe in the early years education, but you never know. Watch this space.
Fantastic. So, I know that, personally, and I hope that most of the people who are listening are interested in this question. Or take me through the day of, of a learner at your school and how, how the Finnish way, the Finnish curriculum, sort of that touch plays out as, from entering the school all the way to sort of pick up at the end of the day.
Yeah. So our school days are full of laughter and learning, as many schools are, and we're all about that phenomenon-based learning, so rooting the children's experiences and learning in real life. So you won't see when you come to Hay School lots of flashcards or lots of worksheets or different more formalized learning, children sitting in rows learning to read and write. That's not what we're about. We're play-based and we're all about curiosity and creativity. So the sort of skills that we want our children to develop are things like problem solving, resilience, communication, teamwork. And that can be happening inside the classroom, but it can also be happening outside as well. Outside education is really, really important in Finnish education. And our children have a lot of access to our wonderful outside areas all day. And we begin and start every day with Hay time, which is that hello time, where it's an opportunity to really bond and create that strong connection between the educator and the children in the class. We sing. Music is a huge part of the day at Hay. We sing, talk through the day, discuss the natural phenomena like the weather, talk to the children about their emotions and how they're feeling, and go through the visual timetable of the day as well to set the children up for success and to allow the learning journeys to begin.
Fantastic. That's wonderful. Where are opportunities for parents to get involved? Are there opportunities throughout the day, or participating in the school in some other way?
Yeah, every day. We're very, very lucky. We have a very strong PTL, our Parent Teacher League. They meet with me once a month, and they're involved in a variety of things. They might be helping me with some special events that are happening in the school. We recently celebrated Lunar New Year and Friendship Day as well, so they come and volunteer. We also really value in the fact that we're an international kindergarten. We have a lot of parents coming in volunteering to talk about their culture, their heritage, maybe doing a short activity linked to that. We're very, very lucky with our parents, and as much as you want to get involved, you can. We welcome everybody. We also host regular coffee mornings for our parents as well. They're usually held at least once a term, hosted by myself and the Parent Teacher League. And it's an opportunity for my new parents and new families to be welcomed in and make connections and start to involve themselves in the wider life of the school.
Are there any accommodations or thoughts around how you minimize the commute or minimize ingress and regress from the school? Is this, considering that you're based right in the heart of Sukhumvit there?
Yes, one of our challenges is traffic, but we stagger our start times and our end times of the day to try and accommodate that in conjunction with our parents. We work really, really closely with our parents as well to ensure that the children do have that smooth start for the day, and that we try and keep traffic and congestion to a minimum. But it's certainly one of the challenges we have being in the heart of the city. But a lot of our parents are very local, or they're coming in. We also have an after schools activity program as well. So some parents sign up for that as well to sort of beat the traffic and try and manage things that way. But yes, it's certainly one of our challenges in the heart of the city.
What kind of, would you consider your after school activities to be sort of standard, or do they as well have a Finnish flair to them?
Yeah, so we've got a lot of different activities. We're allowing the children to develop their tastes. As I say, we're working with our youngest learners, and it's exciting to see what they are beginning to show an interest in. So our extracurricular activities are always very fluid, and we review them every single term. But currently we have Taekwondo, music, which has a wonderful Finnish flavor. We have English storytelling club, Mandarin, STEM. We have a wonderful science teacher coming in to do lots of exciting experiments. Yeah, a real broad range of things, because we want to expose those children to all of these different experiences as early as possible.
Excellent. So I know that for a long time, like the data is there, as we rightfully said, Finland is one of the happiest countries in the world. The education system there is renowned, but I know that there's still I don't want to say doubt, but there's just sort of that there's a disconnect between what someone who is living in Bangkok or other parts of the world, they're used to a different system. Could you just kind of speak to how does the Finnish system have success, and what are the reasons behind why this system is successful and creates not only happy kids but successful kids in the arts and the sciences and those things?
Yeah, I think the thing that sets the Finnish curriculum apart is that it's research-based, it's cutting edge. As I say, we're co-founded by the University of Helsinki, and we're working really closely with our colleagues there, really ensuring that the activities and the curriculum that we're designing are helping those children create those learning experiences and really, really immersing themselves in those experiences day to day, and that they are relevant to them. We talk about our children are doing jobs that, are going to do jobs that haven't even been invented yet. Mm-hmm. So it's about making sure that our research and our curriculum grows with our students. We're always challenging ourselves, and I'm always asking my teachers to be curious. What does this child need to have a successful day? What does success look like for this child? So it's a very, very exciting curriculum, and I feel very lucky to be teaching and leading in it.
Let me go a little deeper there with that last statement that you said about what does this child need. For many of the schools that we feature here in the summit, they talk specifically about learning support for children who have a certain set of needs or gifted children. Can you talk to both of those sides of that coin?
Yeah, so the Finnish education system is inclusive by design. So all of our classrooms are set up to challenge, but also embrace all learners, learners with different neurodiversities, for example, learners that need a different way of teaching and learning. We use a lot of natural materials. We prioritize natural light. And there's our classrooms, if you come and visit us, they are very large, they're very spacious, but we don't use a lot of bright colors. We don't put a lot of the children's work up on the walls. We don't do anything that's too overstimulating, because research and studies show that children can become overwhelmed if there's too much of that. So we keep things calm, we keep things bright. And yes, we're always thinking about, what does success look like for this child? It will be different for every child. And our small class sizes and the close bond between the teacher and the child means that our teachers get to know our children really, really well. They know what this child needs to set them up for success and how it's different from child A and child B. One of the other unique things about Hay Schools is we have, each child has an individual curriculum plan. So when you join Hay Schools, you meet with your teacher, and then the parents have an input into what they want their child to be playing and learning. Some children are some parents are really, really keen on, English language provision. They want that to be at the center. Other parents are very concerned about social skills, for example, and cooperative play, and, learning to manage yourself and your emotions in a social situation. And another parent might have a completely different thing. It's not to say that's the only thing that the teacher will be focused in, but the parents really have a voice as to what their child's learning journey will be as well.
This is a personal question. Do you teach Finnish?
In Hay Schools? No, we don't. It's an international curriculum. So our taught language is English.
Sure.
We do all of our teaching and learning in English, but we do have specialist language classes in Thai and in Mandarin.
Okay, Thai and Mandarin. Okay, those are the ones. I was wondering if maybe that snuck in there as well, because that would just be a really cool secret spy language, I think. Anyway.
It definitely would. It's a very challenging language
exactly.
to master.
So final question for you is one that I probably should have started with, and it's one of my favorite questions is, as you're getting up in the morning and you're getting ready to make your commute to Hay School, what are you excited about? What's the most important part about the school that gets you up in the morning?
The energy that the children bring. The child's at the center of everything we do. And I feel very privileged to be able to get up and come to school and come and work in a community and a learning environment where the child is at the center and the children are free. It's my teachers and my educators' responsibility to seize upon the learning where they find it. It might be bringing a resource in, adding some questions in, challenging the children, but really the children are at the heart of everything we do, and we encourage them to lead their own learning and develop that curiosity and creativity to set them up for success for the next phase.
Fantastic. Well, Miss Lizzie, thank you so much for being our first guest today and taking time out of your super busy schedule. I can hear there are lots of learners in the background there waiting to, sing and dance and play with you today. But
yes, I apologize. We were just singing our Welcome to Hay song.
No, not apologize at all. These are the sounds of delight, right? But so nice to meet Hay School, and we're really happy for you to kick us off today. But now we're going to move to your video presentation of your campus.
Thank you so much, Stephen. It's been great to be here. Thank you.
Thanks. Oh, and I'm going to just restart that because I turned down the volume. There you go. All right. Thank you once again to Hayes Schools, the Bangkok Sukhumvit, and thank you to Miss Lizzie for her presentation. Our next school that we're going to talk about is NIST International School. NIST International School is a not-for-profit, full IB world school nestled in Sukhumvit, right in the heart of Bangkok. Founded in 1992, NIST has established itself as a leading international school, offering the full IB curriculum, the primary years program, POIP, the middle years program, MYP, and diploma program, the DP, for students aged 3 to 18. With a diverse student body representing over 77 nationalities, NIST fosters a truly global learning environment where intercultural understanding is at the heart of its education. The school champions intercultural fluency, underscored by its pioneering Global Citizen Diploma. Here, students are not only merely educated, they're activated, tackling real-world challenges through impactful community initiatives, honing critical thinking, and developing leadership skills that prepare them for the future. NIST also offers one of Thailand's most extensive world language programs, providing students with access to a diverse range of language choices, including 12 home languages during the school day and additional options after school. Students consistently achieve outstanding IB diploma results and gain access to top universities worldwide. As a not-for-profit institution, every resource is reinvested into enhancing its world-class facilities, ensuring a dynamic and sustainable learning environment where students are empowered to thrive. And without further ado, I will pull up NIST's video presentation. And away we go.
Welcome to NIST International School. My name is Nada. Sawadee ka.
And my name is Bruno. Together, we'd like to take you for a tour of our campus.
Let's go! Before we get through the gates, we have to use our own ID cards to get through.
When you visit, you'll have to register at the security booth, and then you'll be given a visitor pass that you'll have to wear during your time at NIST.
So here we are at the Innovation Building where we have a lot of events, as you can see.
Here we have the parent lounge, the school shop, our admissions, and administrative staff.
The world language classes, drama classes, and our black box theater are also here.
Learning different languages is encouraged at NIST. We have 12 languages that you can learn on the 3rd and 5th floor of this building.
Yindi Tan Rap, that's welcome in Thai. The Creative Arts Building, or the CAB, is all about creativity, design, and technology.
Here we have our food lab, design studio, film classes, visual arts studio, music performance rooms, and our school main theater. The Oval is located at the heart of our campus where we have our spirit tree.
The tree used to be placed at the front of the school, but due to construction reasons and also new roads, we decided to move it to the Oval. It is over 70 years old.
We love to play here during break times, and for our PYPX exhibition, we tie our wishes to the trunk of the tree.
I'm a little bit hungry. Let's go stop by the cafeteria and see what they have.
Our awesome chef team prepare a range of different fruits from all around the world for us to enjoy.
Now that we've snacked, let's go visit our youngest friends, which is in the early years center.
Children from early years to year 1 are in this building where they get to play. They might not know it, but they're actually learning too.
The early years students have their own swimming pool and their own play area here. The early years children don't need to walk through the Big Kids campus as they have their own separate entrance into the EY Center.
The classrooms in early years are similar to my classrooms in year 6, except the desks and chairs are a lot smaller.
All of the classrooms have a shared opening space where the children can play together.
Now let's visit our elementary building.
This building has 4 floors of classrooms from year 2 to 6.
On the first floor, we have our fabulous library. So many books here.
On the first floor, we also have our elementary offices and council offices.
This is the year 6 space. This is our space.
There are classrooms all around us and then a big shared space in the middle so we can meet our friends from other classes. This is one of our favorite spaces, the makerspace. We can make so many different things with so many different tools.
This is our Thai Studies classroom where we learn about Thai history and culture.
Let's go check the secondary building.
The IT offices and help desks are also in the library to support our learning tools.
On the second floor is the counseling area. Here our senior students can get advice from college counselors about choice for university, or they can just talk to a well-being counselor.
On the third floor are classes for individual and societies, known as INS.
On the fourth floor of the secondary are English classes as well as shared learning spaces where students can have quiet time in groups or by themselves.
The fifth floor of secondary is for math classrooms, and the sixth floor is for science.
Okay, so now that we've toured the secondary building, let's go next door to the hub.
This is where our middle school students study and play with friends.
On the fifth floor is the hub gym, where middle year students do their physical and health education. And also at the rooftop, we have the rooftop garden where secondaries take care of their crops.
We're back on ground level again, and we're going to walk across the huge football pitch to the sports complex.
This football pitch is FIFA and World Rugby accredited, and we host a lot of regional games here.
On the ground floor, we have gym, fencing room, and nurse clinics. This sports hall is designed to be used for different sports and PE classes.
Phew, the weather's hot now. Let's go to the swimming pool.
This swimming pool is used for our Falcon athletes who use this pool to compete and train, as well as for our PE lessons. We don't only learn here at our school campus. So the last spot we would like to show you is the NIST office.
Let's hear from our NIST staff.
Okay, we have dedicated staff who are adventurous. We take the kids out of the campus for activities and expeditions throughout the year.
That's a wrap. We hope you enjoyed walking around the campus with us.
And we hope you found this video informative. But there's nothing like being here in person.
So please come visit us at NIST. Bye-bye for now. Sawadee ka.
And who doesn't love a couple of young presenters? I mean, let's just be honest. Absolutely fantastic. So that was NIST school. Our next school is ELC International Schools, Bangkok. ELC International Schools has led early childhood education in Thailand for over 40 years, with 6 boutique campuses under the Purple Elephant and the City School in Tonglor and Nothamburi, next to ISB. It is recognized as a top feeder school to international schools like Patna, NIST, and ISB. ELC blends the Reggio Emilia philosophy with a strong academic foundation, personalizing learning to each child's strengths and interests. Through hands-on, inquiry-driven projects, children develop critical thinking, creativity, and collaboration in a dynamic, supportive environment. An exciting new development is the recent introduction of the Dove Center, an extension of the City School, Thailand's first-of-its-kind initiative supporting children with higher learning needs. With adaptive tools, sensory-friendly spaces, and tailored programs, it provides much-needed SEN support in Bangkok. Today, I'm going to welcome Dr. Leah Mai, and she's the head of schools and the chair of educational board and the board of directors to talk more about their learning ethos and how the Dove Center delivers on the group's promise of personalized learning for each child with parents and partners. And so, with that kind of introduction, I don't know how we could possibly do better than that. Now, here's my thing. Is it Leah or Lee?
It's Leia.
Leia! Oh,
But
my
that's
Lord.
okay. I'm very flexible. We like to be agile and flexible at ELC, and so anything will do.
No, Dr. Leah, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. The only reason I always kind of chuckle about individuals' names is because, I have one of those names as well. No one ever gets it right. So anyway, I'm going to start with the question I love to start with. I've started with all of our presenters yesterday, and I had our first presenter end with, which is when you get up in the morning and you're about to make the commute to ELC, whichever campus you're on, what gets you excited? What's the thing that you're like, yeah, this is the reason I'm going?
Look, I think Kurt Vonnegut said that education is the most important job in all of democracy. And that gets me up in the morning. There's absolutely a desire to do best by the children at our school and for childhood in general. So one of our big tenets is that children are powerful and capable citizens of society from the very first day of life. That comes to us from Reggio Emilia. And we try and live that every day. And that's what gets me up in the morning.
I love it. So let's start maybe not backwards or forwards, but just like we put the Dove Center, front and center. Tell us about that. Tell us why it's important, why it's special, and what it offers to families with children with higher learning needs.
Absolutely. So for us, we really want to interact with the child and meet their best interests. And that looks different for different children. And what we noticed within our own community, but also in conversations with our partners, like the US government, was that there were children who were not thriving in a mainstream environment and actually needed a more integrated approach that combined therapeutic services with academics and life skills. And so these children, some of them came from our city school already and from our Purple Elephants. And they were children who were being mainstreamed, often with a one-on-one shadow support or inclusive educator, as we call them. And they were not thriving. And we felt we could do better by them. And the Dove Center is our approach to do better by them. So we do believe that children are powerful and capable and full of potential, but that is activated by the environment and the educators that are with them and the whole system within which they can thrive. So the Dove Center is for children with those higher support needs who are not able to access an academic curriculum that is age or stage based.
Okay. And just for, someone who is not in Bangkok right now or doesn't know, is the Dove Center a physical place? Is it a process? Is it its own standalone thing, or what is it?
That's a great question. So it is part of the city school, which is our mainstream K to year 6 campus. Physically, it started at the city school, but now it has its own purpose-built and designed campus about 900 meters away. So it's an extension, it's a spectrum. So children are somewhere along that spectrum, and depending where they are along that spectrum, that's where one campus might serve them better than the other. So it is a physical space. It's also an approach, and it's a two-way street. If we felt like a child, had maybe been misplaced at the Dove Center, we would bring them back into the city school and vice versa. So actually for parents, they have the option of that full spectrum between Dove Center and city school based on what their child needs.
And does that spectrum bleed over into high achiever as well, is in terms of gifted, or is it more of I'm just going to stop right there. I won't put words in your mouth.
So we do have children with high potential academically, and they are with us at the city school as well. So our approach is very flexible and allows us to tailor the program to each individual child. We have a ratio of 1 to 4, so 1 child, 4 educators at the city school. That is unparalleled in Bangkok. And at the Dove Center, that is 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. So that enables us to really tailor make a program for the children. So if we do have these very high potential children, then we're able to design a program for them, but they're with us at the city school.
ELC has been around for a while. How have you seen, or what has, how has the evolution of early years changed over, sort of that, I don't want to say the last 10 years, maybe over the last 5 years. And what does it look like for parents who are saying, look, I want to make sure my kid is prepared for the future, especially as they're leaping into the secondary school and then and beyond. What does that look like to you?
So I think one of the huge changes post-COVID really is rethinking education for the future in terms of being very intentional about how we design an education that is future-wise or future-worthy. David Perkins from the Harvard Graduate School of Education has a wonderful book that really says education needs to serve the future of our children. For us, that looks a lot like the transferable skills that come out of the Ontario curriculum, because we do teach the Reggio Emilia approach, but it's not a curriculum. So our curriculum is actually from Ontario. Those transferable skills are skills they're going to be able to take with them into any high school, any middle school, any country, any community, or any job. They are collaboration, communication, critical thinking, creativity, and compassion. This is the toolkit that we are equipping our children with. There is a lot of knowledge equity through technology advances right now. So you can access content within a second or two. Google will tell you, what the flag of Mexico looks like.
Could I pause you for just a second? You just used a term that I got to be honest. I have not heard. What is knowledge equity or education equity?
So for me, knowledge equity is about the ability to access content, and the internet allows us to do that. I don't have to go to a library anymore to find out information from an Encyclopedia Britannica. So if I'm a remote learner, for example, I might not have access to a library. Or even when I went to school, right? You had to and university, you had to go to the library. You had to hope that book was on the shelf. If it was taken out, you had to wait 2 weeks to get it. That doesn't happen anymore. Google will tell us information within a few seconds. So what do we do with that information is really what's most critical now. How do we apply our critical thinking skills, our creativity, to improve the world by using that very readily available information, which is more equitable now, into something that's actually going to create positive futures.
I really like that a lot. That makes a lot of sense to me. I had my next question and now it is completely lost because I got stuck on the equity thing. I really love the idea of knowledge as an asset that we all are, we're all able to access. Is there ever, because ELC has been around for a while, I know that one of the conversations I've had with parents around town and whatnot is, the wish and the desire to go beyond that 6, is there any plans for that? Is there any strategy there, or nope, we like being we found our sweet spot and this is where we're staying?
Look, I think there is something very important about early childhood, and that's 0 to 12 age range. We know more and more from research that the experiences that happen in childhood do stay with us for the rest of our lives. So right now we are focused on being the best possible preschool and preparatory school that we can be. Having said that, with the Dove Center, for example, it is not a stage and age-based approach. So we have more flexibility there to continue the education without having to start a classic middle school or high school. Will there never be a high school? I can't tell you that. For right now, though, we are focusing on what we do best, which is 0 to 12 education.
I mean, I had to ask. We have a question from our community here from Jennifer Norman Wilmer. She says, for ELC, could you let me know if my child is at one of your smaller early year schools? Do they automatically get a place in the larger school, or do you have to reapply or go through testing?
No, you do automatically get a place. So our Purple Elephant parents and our Dove Center families do get a secured place at the city school.
All right, that's an easy answer. It talks about one of the big questions that so many people have is traffic and getting to the school and from the school, especially since you have, even though it's 900 meters away, there's still different places in Purple Elephant versus ELC, etc. Talk to us about how you handle that.
Yes, that's an interesting question for the whole of Bangkok, right?
Absolutely.
And for our city schools campus, we are on Tonglo Soi 13. One of my favorite things is that we are 50 meters from Sumitavet Hospital. So if there's ever should be any sort of injury, we have immediate access to emergency care. We also have our nurse on campus, of course, to triage. But that, of course, comes with its own complications. If you want a downtown location, traffic is a factor. We are one of the few downtown locations that still is able to maintain a very green campus environment. So there's also that best of both worlds where you have access to Tonglo, but you're still in a very green and natural environment, which for the children is very therapeutic. We do have Tonglo BTS at the top of Soi 53, and we do really encourage our families to make use of that because you can just walk straight down Soi 53 and enter via our back gate. We do have parking for families at Easy Parking on Tonglo 13 and at Soi Torsak. And we do have a lot of guards on duty that will channel cars through our driveway, so you can just drop and kiss and ride, as they say in Australia. So we try and facilitate that as much as possible.
Speaking of, the parents who either are in touch with the campus or want to come, talk to me about how a parent can be involved at ELC. What are the opportunities? Is it throughout the day? Is it, after school activities? What do we do for the involved parent?
Absolutely. We would love parents to be involved. In fact, one of our community promises is personalized learning with parents as partners. So we want to partner with you to make the best choices for your child. And that can look different for different families. For example, we have our gardens are open to families after school every day from 3 to 4 p.m. because we know many children don't have a large garden and playground to access at home. And if they live in condominiums, we want them to experience that free playtime. So any family who wants to come every day from 3 to 4 p.m. and makes use of our campus can. We have mystery readers happening at the moment. We have 5 meetings a year for parents between our hopes and wishes meetings and our parent-teacher conferences if you want to talk about the academics for your child. And we have also apps like Parent App, which is similar to Seesaw for parents who are unable to access the campus physically. And really, for us, it's you tell us how much contact and involvement you want, and we will make it happen.
I love that. Let me, this is part tongue in cheek, but a reality. I mean, everyone knows here, I've got 3 kids. They're a little past the early years point, or, at this stage, but one of the things that every parent talks about is all of the communication from the school, right? And not only managing that, but making sure that you're staying involved and you don't miss something, but at the same time, how do you so talk to me about your app, talk to me, how do you manage that communication to make it reasonable for a parent?
Yeah, so I think every channel has its own purpose. So for example, our Parent Tab is photographs of what's happening in the classroom with the children. So a parent can have that on their phone, they can look at what's happened during the day, and that can really initiate rich conversations with their child at home. Because it's like, if you say to your child, what did you do today? Half of them will say nothing. Half of them will say, my favorite time was snack. And then you're like, oh goodness. So we hope that those photographs that you're receiving of Parent App really are able for you to share with your child and say, what is happening here? Tell me more, So that's one vehicle of communication. My strategy as head of school is if I write an email, it's about one topic only. So you're not having to dig through multiple paragraphs to find out what's pertinent to you. I'm just being joined here by a couple of our friends who, as you can see, have a very accessible office right in the middle of the playground. And our children are very powerful and capable and feel very comfortable.
That is awesome. We have never had a guest run in like that. I love it. That is fantastic. Wonderful.
So I want to be very accessible to children, to families, to teachers. My office is literally a glass box in the middle of the campus. So come visit anytime if you have a chance. We'd love to host you. So really targeting the communication. One email, one message, one action. So you're not having to dig through and trying to figure out what the school wants from you. Awesome. And then really limiting the amount of emails that get sent all of the time. Because I know this is a global problem. I had my cousin-in-law write to me just last weekend saying, I have 15 emails from the school because I have 3 children. I don't even know how to keep up with them. We try and minimize that as much as possible.
Oh, wow. There's the next killer app for your, whoever's the advanced learner at ELC. How do I make sure if you have more than one child, they only get 1 email about it? That's a really good one. Yes. Talk to me about activities and opportunities outside the normal school day at ELC. Is there, I'm assuming it's as robust as other schools, but is there a special focus? Are there particular activities that you think are particularly interesting at ELC?
So can you hear the children in the background? Federico's just going to usher them out just for the sake of focus.
No worries.
So we do have I'm talking right now. Can I talk to you later? Okay. So we do have a full program of after-school activities. So that is at the parents and the child's choice. And that really is to follow your passion. So it could be languages, it could be chess, it could be Lego, robotics. It could be sports as well, yoga, soccer, dance, Thai language as well, of course, for our parents who would like additional Thai instruction, Mandarin, French. So we cover the full spectrum of after-school activities. For our year 4 to 6 children, we also have a program called Visual and Performing Arts. They stay back 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it's a series of performing arts and visual arts programming. And then that leads into our year 3 to 6 drama performance and other events and performances for the children. We also have a summer school we call a Festival of the Arts, so the children are free to join that for 2 to 4 weeks a year as well. So we also want to be very responsive to the community. So if you have a particular need or interest or talent that you want to share with us, we're very flexible into adding additional after-school activities.
Final question for you. Because we have you as the head of school, you're the chair of the Educational Board of Governors and the chair of Board of Directors. As you look forward, let's just say 2 years, maybe 3 years, like the speed of change is only accelerating. The velocity of change is incredible. What are you seeing as how the school will continue to evolve, or things that you're most excited about that are being, things that parents don't see today, but they're going to see 12 months or 24 months from now?
We are very aware that the time the children have with us is irreplaceable. You get one childhood. So for me, always at the center of everything is the highest quality education that we can provide for our children. That will always be the guiding light for us. Everything else is additional to that. So, and that looks different in different ways. Do we have the best campus available to them that allows them to grow and thrive and feel safe and seen and heard and valued? Do we have the best educators, highly qualified, highly accessible to children and teachers and parents? I was with friends in Hong Kong during the midterm break, and one of the teachers, I overheard him say, I have 30 children in my class and I just didn't get to that child today. That will never happen here. We have 12 to 15 children in the class maximum, because we want to get to every child every day.
And as we've seen here, they're totally, you are completely accessible at all times. Fantastic.
Exactly. So for me, that is the true measure of education, is the quality experience of the experience that you're providing to every child in your school every day. Beyond that, some schools choose to build a swimming pool. Some choose to build a soccer field. Those are all very valid choices. But at the heart of it all must be the experience of the child, because this is their only chance to be a child.
I love it. Dr. Leah, thank you so much for taking time out of what is clearly not only a busy day, but you're surrounded by all those young learners. So I'll let you get back to them, and we will now show your video for your campus. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Stephen. Much appreciated.
And without further ado. And thank you once again to Dr. Leah and ELC for joining us today. Really, really appreciate it. And we wish them all the best for their morning as well. Our next school is RIS Ruamrudee International. RIS is one of Thailand's longest running international schools, offering a pre-K to grade 12 education rooted in a rich history of academic excellence. Ruamrudee, which is Thai for Union of Hearts, reflects the school's welcoming and inclusive philosophy. RIS follows a modified American curriculum with a Reggio-inspired early childhood program, preparing students for success in rigorous AP and IB programs in high school. Since 1957, RIS has built a strong global network, with teachers praising their students' drive and alumni cherishing their time at the school. Now, with 4 affiliate campuses across Thailand, RIS Minburi is expanding its boarding facilities to accommodate 100 students, further enriching its diverse and dynamic learning community. Fantastic. And I want to mention as well, I'm going to mention this after the video, after I play the video, but there's actually a special offer that RIS Ruamrudee is doing as well. So stay tuned after the video here that I pull up, and we'll talk about that as well. Without further ado, RIS Ruamrudee.
Ruamrudee is a Thai word that means union of hearts. Founded in 1957 by Redemptorist fathers, RIS continues to be a model of excellence and innovation in global education, offering a robust, modified American curriculum stewarded by a teaching staff rich in expertise, creativity, and compassion. Ruamrudee was one of the first international schools to have been accredited by the Western Association of Schools and Colleges in Thailand.
RIS nurtures the minds, hearts, and hands of its students from pre-K2 to grade 12. IB diploma program and AP students score far above world averages and attend the most prestigious universities worldwide. Students at RIS excel not only in the classroom, but through leadership activities such as the World Scholars Cup, Model United Nations, Knowledge Bowl, and the National Honor Society.
RIS has a vibrant performing and visual arts curriculum. There are many service learning opportunities and one of the largest athletic programs of any international school in Southeast Asia. Our alumni hold prominent leadership positions in diverse fields, including government, business, medicine, media, entertainment, and humanitarian sectors in both public and private domains, locally and internationally.
Given the rich academic background of our professionals, it is only natural that they inspire each other on a daily basis and create an engaging and challenging teaching and learning environment for our students. As it has been for the last 60 years, the goal of RIS has been to develop creative, compassionate, critical thinkers who are committed to leading happy, healthy lives while helping others do the same. And this is why RIS students continue to forge lasting, positive legacies for the world.
Thank you so much to RIS Ruamrudee for that presentation. Really wonderful to have it. And now, as I promised as well, RIS Ruamrudee does have a special promotion for individuals who are joining us for the fair here. And so if you join the fair, they will waive their 5,000 baht application fee. And there's already an ongoing 25% discount on registration fees for new students enrolling in the 2025-2026 school year, as well as for exclusive benefits for new residents boarders. And as you heard earlier, they've actually expanded their Minbury location to 100 students. So just to reiterate that, their special promotion is that they are offering 5,000 bahts. They're waiving the 5,000 baht tuition fee, or tuition fee, and they already have an ongoing 25% discount on registration fees for new students enrolling in the 2026 school year. And so, please, if you want, you can throw your name in the comments here, or you can reach out to RIS Ruamrudee and say that you saw it on the BKK Kids Online International School Fair, or of course, reach out to us at info@bkkkids.com, and we will make sure that you have all the correct information to take advantage of that, which is fantastic. Folks, kind of a cool time right now. At this point in our presentation today, we're going to move over to focus on Chiang Mai, which is, kind of a really, it's a special moment for us. As I mentioned at the top of the event, we are BKK Kids has been around for 11 years. We were founded by a woman who was interested in making sure that her children had the best education opportunities, and then through that, through her network and through friends and whatnot, BKK Kids was born, and it has now grown into a fantastic community across Thailand and really truly around the world. But it's been a source of truth, of information, of knowledge about what's available, not only educationally, but also in terms of activities and whatnot. We took the opportunity 3 years ago to start Chiang Mai Kids. You see it here on the screen here, so that we could, take advantage and leverage our expertise in Bangkok in the same way in Chiang Mai. And so we now have a whole lot of, school partners in Chiang Mai, activities that we have in Chiang Mai. There's a specific newsletter that goes out regularly focused on Chiang Mai activities. And so if that is something that, you're interested in, if you're not going to be located in the Bangkok area, if Chiang Mai is, kind of your place for your family, it's really something, it's really worth checking out, because it's all information. We've got a blog up there. We have, information that's specific to that area. And it's really worth checking out. With that said, we have several schools that we're going to focus on here in Chiang Mai. And our very first one here, I'm going to pull up the banner. The very first one here is Lanna International School. And so I'm going to pull up Lanna right now. I'm just making sure I've got all of the correct information here. So Lanna International School, Thailand. All right. Lanna International School offers a full British curriculum for students aged 2 to 18, culminating with IGCSEs and A-level qualifications in secondary. Located right outside Chiang Mai on a beautiful campus with nearly 200 dedicated educators and over 900 students, Lanna delivers academic excellence with a caring community, preparing graduates to attend top 100 universities worldwide while fostering leadership, service, and a passion for learning. They offer playdates once a month to help early years families assimilate to school life. And here's a fun fact about Lanna. They are the first British school in Chiang Mai. That's fantastic. And so without further ado, we do not have a presenter from Lanna today, but we do have a video presentation. And so let's bring that up right now. Here is Lanna School.
Lanna International School provides a full British education at its best. We are the first British school in Chiang Mai and proud to deliver excellence at every stage from ages 2 to 18. Lanna has nearly 200 dedicated educators and a student body of over 900 students. Year after year, Lanna graduates attend top 100 universities around the world. Lanna is committed to providing exceptional teachers who bring both expertise and a passion for education to our classrooms. Nearly 90% of our teachers are native English speakers, ensuring that students learn in a truly immersive English language environment. Our school vision is to provide academic excellence within a caring community. To achieve this, our mission is to enable our students to achieve their full potential and become creative, responsible, and successful citizens. Early years at Lanna are a time of wonder, exploration, and endless possibilities. We welcome children from the age of 2, fostering their growth in a nurturing and engaging environment. From pre-nursery to reception, we provide a well-rounded foundation based on the national curriculum of England and international early years curriculum philosophy. In primary, starting at the age of 5, we continue to use the national curriculum of England in a coordination with the theme-based cross-curricular international primary curriculum. We focus on critical thinking skills through the lens of the Cambridge primary curriculum and emphasise the development of the whole child. During the secondary years, from ages 12 to 18, students benefit from a diverse and rigorous academic programme. Lanna offers a wealth of extracurricular opportunities, from leadership and service initiative to sports, the arts and specialised clubs. With a strong foundation in both academics and personal development, our graduates consistently earned places at top 100 universities worldwide. Lanna is an exciting and vibrant place for students because we offer a diverse range of student-led clubs, providing students with opportunities to develop leadership, teamwork, and a passion for service, academics, and sports. Community service, volunteerism, activism, and philanthropy are embedded across school life. In the past few years, our campus has seen the addition of an indoor gymnasium and a chemical-free swimming pool, as well as a splash pool for the little ones. We also have a positive air pressure system built into our new buildings, which work extremely well to make sure that we have clean air during the unfortunate pollution season in Chiang Mai. We would love to welcome you to Lanna's campus. Please visit us anytime by booking a tour through our website. Make sure to ask about the special offers, and remember, Lanna now offers generous scholarships for high-achieving students, including academic, arts, and athletic scholarships, recognizing excellence across a range of talents. And now, we'd like you to enjoy a short video about Lanna.
From its humble beginnings as a small homeschool for just a few eager learners, Lanna has flourished into a cornerstone of education in vibrant northern Thailand. Our beautiful and world-class campus is nestled at the bottom of the historical mountainous region of Chiang Mai, and for 3 decades we have delivered an exceptional British education with an outstanding, caring community. We are Lanna, an international community of curious investigators, thoughtful communicators, and sophisticated thinkers. And for over 30 years, we've been home to families from many different countries and continents, bonded over the love of learning. We have all come to Lanna for one main reason: to uncover our hidden talents, to discover our spark. We do this by learning from experienced teachers who are masters of their craft, and by creating community with each other. We are conversation starters, community builders, passionate connectors. Here in Chiang Mai, we've created our home, one where each student is seen, their talents harnessed, and their confidence bolstered. At Lanna, we don't just know your child by name, we know your child by heart. If you're ready to access the depths of your capabilities, then Lanna is for you. If you're ready to feel connected to a community, then there is a place for you here. Once you're at Lanna, you'll learn that no challenge is too daunting, that every dream is achievable. We'll prepare you for the unexpected, to come up with solutions that you didn't think were possible. Our mission is to mentor you throughout your journey, crafting a unique path towards graduation and beyond. At Lanna, we will embrace music, art, languages, sports, STEM, and through it all, you will find academic excellence in a loving and nurturing community. You will have the Lanna family by your side, encouraging your greatness and celebrating your successes. We can't wait to welcome you here.
Fantastic. Thank you so much to Lanna for sending us that wonderful presentation. We have one more school. We have 2 more schools before we get to where we're going here. Sorry, looking at my script and talking off script. That's just not a thing that you should do at a live online event here. So our next school is Varee Chiang Mai International School. Varee, let's see, let's bring up Varee Chiang Mai. Varee Chiang Mai International School, VCIS, is where excellence converges with global citizenship. Established in 2010 and licensed by the Thai Ministry of Education, VCIS offers a dynamic educational experience rooted in Thai values while adhering to the UK National Curriculum and Cambridge International Curriculum. Under the leadership of an experienced head of school and a dedicated team of educators, VCIS is committed to nurturing students' intellectual curiosity, fostering critical thinking skills, and instilling a sense of social responsibility. Employing a holistic approach to education, VCIS prepares students to become well-rounded global citizens armed with the knowledge, skills, and values to thrive in the 21st century while embracing their Thai identity. Join VCIS, where every student is empowered to reach their full potential and make a positive impact on the world. And we also have their video presentation right here. So without further ado, I give you, well, let me just make sure I chose the right one. There we go, Varee. Thank you so much to VCIS for submitting that presentation to us. Absolutely fantastic. Go check them out now. And you can always look for more information as well through the information you saw on the screen there. Our next school is the Americana Chinese International School. The Americana Chinese International School in Sarapi, Chiang Mai, offers a top-tier education that follows the American curriculum with a global perspective for students from pre-K to grade 12. Their innovative approach includes a project-based learning and STEM classes, alongside robotics and arts, fostering teamwork, creativity, and problem-solving skills. All classes are taught in English by certified native English-speaking teachers, ensuring a high-quality learning experience. ACIS also offers daily Chinese and Thai lessons, nurturing multilingual students, and serves as an official HSK and YCT Chinese Language Proficiency Test Center. High school students can excel with advanced placement courses and the groundbreaking ACIS Honors Dual Diploma program, the first of its kind in Thailand. This program allows students to graduate from a U.S. high school while simultaneously earning their diploma at ACIS. Graduates of ACIS are well prepared for further studies at prestigious higher education institutions worldwide, spanning America, Europe, and Asia. And I am excited now to have a conversation with Dr. Glenn T. Pinder. Dr. Glenn, how are you, sir?
How are you, sir? Good morning.
Good morning. I am wonderful. How is Chiang Mai? Tell me, like, what's it like in Chiang Mai right now?
Chiang Mai is probably my most favorite place to be in Southeast Asia. It's a city with a small town feel. So, as a former New Yorker who understands the big city, I appreciate me and the teachers. We appreciate the slower pace. Things here are not so fast, and they have a saying in northern Thailand: "Sabai sabai." So we get things done, but we do it at a different pace.
Is that like the mañana, or is that like?
Yeah.
I like that.
It's a good place to be. I came here to visit, and I never left.
That is awesome. I love it. I've visited Chiang Mai several times. I love it as well. Before we dive into the school, I'd love to just talk about the environment a little bit, because, we've invested in our business in Chiang Mai as well, because we know it's growing in popularity, especially because many people don't like the congestion of Bangkok, or, the fact that Chiang Mai is just growing and there's more opportunities there. Tell us what you have seen over the last 4 or 5 years and what you see growing in Chiang Mai that, is attracting people, beyond that small town feel.
So I think the fact that it does offer modern conveniences at a reasonable cost of living. So you can live here relatively cheap, you can raise a family, you can get a decent education at a decent price point. And I think that's one of the things that are attracting a lot of families to come to Chiang Mai. And there's a lot of great international schools, which we think we're one of. And you can come here and raise your children in a very safe, happy, nurturing environment.
I love it. I love that we're, throughout Thailand, we're spoiled for choice. That's always amazing. As I was reading your introduction, I'm assuming many people are kind of surprised by the ACIS Honors Dual Diploma. I'd love to start our conversation around, talk us through that. How does that accreditation happen? What are the requirements for it? Like, what does that look like for a high schooler who says, I want both a U.S. diploma and an international diploma at the same time?
So currently we are K to 10, and we will be K to 12 over the course of the next 2 years. And we have not graduated a class. So we thought it was important to have an added level of confidence for our parents and students to know that by getting this dual degree, that they would be eligible and guaranteed placement into one of 30 colleges and universities throughout the United States, Europe, and the United Arab Emirates. Along with that guarantee, you're also going to be guaranteed a scholarship based on the GPA that you acquired throughout the program. So we were already partnered with an organization called Global Studies, who helps us with some credit recovery and AP courses. And they offered this extra component that we thought would be a really good fit for our students. And when we looked at it, these were really top tier schools in the United States: the University of Utah, the University of Alabama, University of Auburn, very reputable schools. And we did some more research and found out that students who acquired that dual degree also got accepted into Ivy League schools because of the reputation of the private school that we're partnered with. So it's the Columbia School, which is in the United States. It's a virtual experience. And one of the things that we did that we thought was an added plus for our program is our teachers co-teach the classes with our students. So there's a certified teacher in the global studies, and then we also, Hudson Global, and then we also have our teacher present, which provides added support. This was our first semester offering a class, and our kids love it. They're really excited. The teacher is very personable, very engaging, and I think it provides the optimal in virtual learning. So they're getting the virtual experience, but they're also having someone there providing live support in the classroom.
Okay, now I'm visualizing how it works. Okay, so they're in a classroom, but they're being taught virtually, and then there's a physical presence of another teacher. Do I have it correct? Okay.
That is correct. So a subject teacher from our school is also present, because what we didn't want to do was we didn't want to have kids on a computer alone, having to figure out questions and things that they might have, because there is a difference in time. So we thought it would be smart, and it turns out that it was a really good idea to have that teacher in person in the classroom, so the kids can get that extra support. And we have 5 so far this semester, and they are really thriving. We're getting a lot of great feedback.
I love that. The word that I'm hanging on, if I can be completely frank with you, is guarantee. So
Yes.
you said they're guaranteed one of 30, acceptance into one of 30 schools in America, Europe, or Asia, or something, or maybe it's the Middle East. Talk to me, how does that work?
So what happens with that is if the kids successfully complete their coursework, they'll receive 2 degrees. They'll receive a degree from ACIS, and then they'll receive a degree from the accredited Hudson Global Program.
Right.
Okay. Which is the Columbia School, which is a private school in the United States. With that successful completion, those kids will be guaranteed acceptance into one of 30 schools. And we provided them with a list of those schools, right? And they have a wide range from big colleges and universities to small, more community-based type of schools. The school that you get into is going to be based on your GPA and your performance in the program.
That's amazing.
But you will be guaranteed to be admittance into one school. With that, and because of the credibility of the dual degree, your SAT scores are waived, your essay is waived, you're guaranteed a scholarship on some level, and that's also contingent on your GPA, and you get additional college counseling support. So being that we hadn't graduated a class, we saw this as an added plus for our families who are with us and like our program, but wanted to have certain assurances that their kids would be able to attend school in the United States and in Europe.
Wow. I got to be honest. That's the first time I've ever heard of that pathway, of that guaranteed pathway. And I got to, it's taking me a little bit to digest, simply because, I've got a 16-year-old, who's just now entering into the college milieu, the college application process, and there's no guarantees anywhere. So to hear that, why isn't this more widely known? I guess I'm wondering if this is a structure that's available, why aren't more schools adopting this?
I think that's a really good question. When I saw it, I just saw the value. And, I pursued it. I had conversations with the organization. I had conversations with my board, and we thought it was a really good idea. And we brought it into our school. We are a growing school, but as you can imagine, being that we're an international school, we have students from all over the world. If they come to us in high school, there's that anxiety that we want to remove from the process. So by joining this program, you're going to go to college and university. And I think that allows kids to really relax and enjoy their learning experience and have a more robust learning experience. And they can pursue other things, sports, the arts, things that they have interest in, because they don't have to worry about going to college and university. They're going to go to a college and university. And I think it really, really lessens the anxiety for our next year, our 11th and 12th graders, knowing full well that they're going to be accepted.
I love that. The risk removal is a huge thing. I mean, that's a really
huge thing. And Hudson Learning has a huge, very impressive reputation throughout the world. So the colleges that they're associated with accept their students. If you come through this program, it's understood that you've gotten a rigorous academic experience and that you can come to school and be successful.
That's absolutely fantastic. I assume that it goes without saying that a student that goes through this as well, they're not precluded from applying to other universities as well.
Absolutely. And what we found, because the question the parents had said, well, what if my kid wants to go to a different school? And they provided us a list of kids that have been admitted to Columbia University, Harvard, Yale, all the Ivy League schools in the United States. So these are just the guarantees. But the preparation of the program in and of itself is going to prepare you to be successful in any college or university.
Wow. Super cool. I love it.
So, Stephen, we want to keep that a secret. We don't want people to do that.
I know that I can. I hope that my amazement here is not, artificial at all. I'm truly like, wow, I have never heard of anybody guaranteeing, the pathway, which is fantastic. If you've got that kind of risk reversal, I think that we're revealing now something that all other schools are going to adopt at some point in the very near future. It's just, that seems like a no-brainer. So
I'm confident that once this takes off, more schools will adopt this program.
Nice.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Sorry, we got that little delay. We just what?
No, I was saying now we wanted to be the first, and we just saw it as a great opportunity to boost our profile as an international school.
Consider it boosted, sir. Fantastic. Yeah. So we talked a lot about your secondary program. Talk to me about the rest of the program. What's a day at Americana Chinese look like?
So we are a preschool to now currently grade 12, and in 2 years, grade 10, and in 2 years will be grade 12. We follow an American standard-based curriculum. In our primary school, kids are still very much in their formative years where they're learning how to read and write. And then as they transition into their pre-adolescent and adolescent, they read and write to learn. We believe strongly in a standard-based education because we want kids to have a foundation that will allow them to be successful anywhere they go, and anything they pursue to do in life once they leave us. So by having standards in place, we know that we can benchmark our students and track them over time, and wherever they decide to go to college or university, they'll be successful. One of the things that's really unique about our school is we offer a trilingual program. So all of our kids, kindergarten to grade 8, are offered Chinese, Thai, and then all of their subjects are taught in English, all their core subjects. So in theory, the students that leave us speak 3 languages and go throughout the world and really function in what is now a more global world, with the Chinese moving and growing as a nation. In the business world, our kids are prepared to go and be successful in anything that they pursue. If you are a Chinese student, and we have a significant population of Chinese students, and you want to go to China for university, this is going to prepare you for that. Wow. So you'll follow that track, and you can continue to take Chinese all the way through the 12th grade. If you're a student who doesn't want to go to China, and you want to pursue an education in the United States or Europe, you can go through our general program, which will prepare you for China or school here in Thailand or the United States. Or our newest option is the dual degree program, which is slightly more rigorous and will obviously put you in a different level in terms of what you'll have opportunities to attend based on your GPA. But the risk, as you said, we've taken away the risk for those students. They know that they're going to go to college.
Are some of the 30 guaranteed universities, are they in China?
No, these are colleges and universities in North America, Australia, Europe, and the United Arab Emirates.
Okay, cool. That's fantastic. Yeah. Well, I'm sure people will reach out as they, if they want to get that list of schools and whatnot. Talk to me about intramurals, intercurriculars, sports teams. How robust is that in Chiang Mai compared to Bangkok or some other locations throughout Thailand?
So we're a member of the CMAC, which is the Athletic Organization of International Schools here in Chiang Mai. They offer a wide range of competitive sports: basketball, futsal, what we call soccer, but football, volleyball. Now that we're growing, we're able to participate in a lot more of the age levels. So far, we've been in the under 16, but now that we have a high school, we plan to enter into the under 18, which is the varsity level. For us personally, we're really proud to announce that we just opened up a brand new college level state-of-the-art gym. It has college hardwood floors, air conditioned, retractable nets. It is state-of-the-art, and there's nothing like it pretty much in Thailand.
Wow.
So our board really committed to making sure that we had a facility that can accommodate our students internally, and we can also now begin to host competitive sports from outside with this new facility. That's attached to our brand new high school. which has state-of-the-art STEM labs, science labs, as well as your humanities, and a music and art room. So we are really excited about what's going on here, particularly with our high school. We had a big flood here. I'm not sure if you're familiar. There was a big flood here in Chiang Mai in October.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So that kind of slowed our progress down. But once we got everything cleaned up and got back on path, we were able to open up the new building, and it allowed us to spread out. And we're really thriving now because we have our middle and high school kids separate from our younger kids, and it just allows for us to have a better educational experience. So we're very happy. The last 3 months have been great.
That is absolutely fantastic. I love it. Final question for you. As the head of school, and you really seem to have your eye on investing for the future.
Yes.
And you've unveiled this ACIS dual diploma program. You were just talking about this new facility you have. What do you see 12 months, 24 months down the road, or maybe what is already planned in your school planning calendar about how the school will continue to evolve?
Well, we continue to grow. We've received 180 kids since I've been here. So our enrollment is up. I think there's a buzz starting to form about ACIS and what we have to offer. We do have a focus on academics, but we strongly believe in educating the whole child. So when parents come here, they realize, oh, academics are important, and it's definitely a priority, but it's not our only priority.
Mm-hmm.
We do believe in their social and emotional well-being, and we believe in their physical health. So we have PE, we have lots of club offerings so that the kids can get up and move around, as well as the arts and the sciences, right? Now, I'm originally from New York. I went to a school that had a very robust performing arts program, and that's starting to grow. So
you can say Juilliard. It's okay. It's fine. You can.
I wish. I wish. But one of the things that I learned about offering the performing arts and the visual arts to students, it really allows them to grow in different areas. And we as a philosophy, we have a growth mindset with our children, which means you don't have to be great at anything, but you have to be working towards greatness. And that's how you achieve success in anything that you do. So we teach our teachers to teach our students that anything is possible through hard work and effort, right? So the great people, the great athletes, the great musicians, they weren't born that way. They worked towards it. So when you ask about our future, what I see is students that are going to graduate from our school with many talents and many skill sets, and they're going to have the confidence to pursue whatever they want to do in life, because we've laid the academic foundation, as well as giving them a social emotional balance. And we're also emphasizing that you have to take care of your body. You have to take care of your body and be healthy moving forward. So I see us graduating students in the next 2 years that are going to attend top colleges and universities throughout the world. That's what I envision over the next 3 to 4 years.
Fantastic. Dr. Glenn, I love your vision for the future. Thanks for unveiling this fantastic dual diploma program to us. And I wish you all the best in your new facility. We're going to move on now to your video presentation, but thanks so much for taking the time out of your busy day for us.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Have a good day. And without further ado, we have Americana Chinese.
Welcome to Americana Chinese International School, where academic excellence meets social responsibility. ACIS is a member of the Ambassador Education Group. We strive to provide a holistic learning environment that prepares students for success in the 21st century. ACIS focuses on English and Chinese language proficiency. Our school follows the American Common Core standards, ensuring a high-quality education for students from pre-K all the way up to grade 12. All classes are taught in English by certified native English-speaking teachers. Small class sizes guarantee a personalized learning experience and paves the way for individual growth and success. We go beyond the traditional education with our unique STREAM program. Students receive comprehensive instruction in science, technology, robotics, engineering, arts, and mathematics. And they apply their knowledge to solve real-world challenges. For those needing extra support in English, our English Acquisition Language Program ensures that every student can thrive and fully participate in the learning experience. Our dedicated Chinese educators promote language fluency and cultural appreciation through daily Chinese classes. Did you know that we're an official testing center for HSK and YCT Chinese language proficiency exams? Students at ACIS experience the richness of Thai language and culture with 2 to 5 periods per week dedicated to fostering cross-cultural understanding. ACIS alumni are making their mark on the global stage with the unique advantage of trilingual education. We cultivate a community service mindset, preparing our students to make a positive impact as highly skilled professionals on a global scale. Education at ACIS extends beyond the classroom. We organize various events throughout the year, promoting language, culture, and self-expression. Our students graduate not only academically prepared, but culturally enriched. At ACIS, we place a strong emphasis on the holistic development of both body and mind. We proudly participate in the CMAC, an athletic competition for international schools in Chiang Mai. Our students immerse themselves in a variety of sports, gaining valuable experiences in sportsmanship and teamwork. Your child's safety is our priority. ACIS is equipped with CCTV cameras, providing a secure environment. Our certified nurse, nutritionist, school counselor, and health officer ensure the well-being of every student. Join ACIS, where knowledge, culture, and innovation converge. Experience education beyond textbooks with project-based learning, language proficiency, and global citizenship at our core. At Americana Chinese International School, we spark inspiration. Enroll today and let your child's journey to success begin.
Thank you so much to Dr. Glenn and to Americana Chinese for that fantastic presentation there and everything that they had to offer. I mean, as you, if you were just watching there, as you rightly saw, I'm super impressed with the ACIS dual diploma program that they have there, and that the connection to what sounds like a guarantee into university. I don't know. I'm going to say I think they've got something going on that other schools might want to hear about. So we will be moving on to our next school here, which is Unity Concord International. Unity Concord International School, UCIS in Chiang Mai, was founded in 2016 by the Garmal Gumats, experienced educators with over 33 years in the field. The school opened in 2017 and now serves 1,217 students from pre-K to grade 12, offering the American Common Core CA curriculum. At UCIS, we emphasize hands-on cross-curricular learning through the STREAM program, which integrates science, technology, reading, engineering, art, and mathematics. High school students can benefit from advanced placement courses and a dual diploma program in partnership with Hudson Global Scholars, allowing graduates to earn 2 diplomas, one from UCIS and one from the U.S. This pathway provides access to over 30 universities with guaranteed admission, often without requiring the SAT, ACT, TOEFL, or IELTS scores. Additionally, students can qualify for scholarships ranging from $1,500 to $20,000. So again, there's apparently Chiang Mai has their finger on the pulse of this dual diploma program. I love it. As a part of the Ambassador Education Group, UCIS benefits from extensive global university connections and MOU agreements with over 20 institutions, ensuring a smooth transition into higher education. Their commitment to STEM, sustainability, and service learning prepares students to thrive in a globalized world. And without further ado, I will pull up their video presentation for you. I give you Unity Concord.
Hello everyone, so today is back to school day and welcome everyone. We are so happy to see you here. So behind me you see a great huge air balloon and you see some of our stuff in there. Today we had orientation for parents. We got a lot of new students. We have a lot of food. We have a lot of events like a bouncy house over there. Also we have auditorium where they can watch a video. And today I believe it's a scavenger hunt where parents have to go from room to room to find out new information and get stickers. So I believe it's a lot of fun today.
Hi, I'm Joanna. I am here with the PTA, which is selling popcorn and drinks right now for the back to school night for the 2024 to 2025 school year. It's a great event so far. There are hot air balloons and food trucks and kids and parents, and we hope you have a really good time here.
Hi guys, my name is Mr. Edwin Grayling. I am the High School Stream Coordinator at Unity Concord International School. Now, STREAM is essentially an acronym which stands for Science, Technology, Reading, Engineering, Art, and Math. What we try and do is incorporate each one of those aspects into holistic education. We do this through cross-curricular learning, which means essentially having projects which focus on one idea, but having that throughout all of these different subject areas. We also try and reach the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which are very important for future focus and sustainability, and we try and get the students to achieve a service learning outcome by the end of these projects. Thank you guys. I hope to see you at Unity Concord International School soon.
Hey guys, welcome back to the new school year of 2024-2025. You can see that I'm standing in our new renovated gym, 12 air cons, indoor gym. Yo guys, now you don't have to worry about the AQI problem. This year, we are going to be banging out with 3 seasons of CMAC. Guys, it's going to be amazing. Last year, we got so many trophies. I'm so looking forward for more trophies this year. Next up, with the sports, please make sure that you follow those rules. All your task and assignment and everything should be finished properly on time. The minimum requirement must be GPA 2.0 and a grade C. Guys, that is important. Keep that academics also in mind. Every time, make sure that everything is finished, and then you don't have to worry. Your teacher's happy, parents happy, dean happy, AD and the coach happy. So, looking forward to see you for sports, and let's get that trophies. Peace. Are you done with the sports?
Hi everyone, my name's Madison Conger. I help with special projects at AEG schools. And we're really excited to introduce the Duke of Edinburgh program to UCIS this year. The Duke of Edinburgh program is a great program for students 9 to 12, and it really helps students stay physically healthy, engage in volunteer opportunities, develop new skills, and engage with nature. It's going to be an amazing opportunity and a great portfolio builder for universities as well. So we're very excited and hope you'll all take part. Thanks.
Hi, and thank you for coming to our event, and I hope everybody had fun today with our balloons and activities. And I hope everybody, including our students, have a great semester. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Unity Concordia for that super cool presentation. I got to be honest, I love that one. That was fantastic. Super fun and really showcased the personality of the school. I liked it a lot. Our next school is the British Concordance International School. British Concordance International School is a cutting-edge British curriculum school in Chiang Mai, dedicated to supporting its students in an ever-changing world where tradition meets innovation. At BCIS, as BCIS continues to grow, it is excited to pioneer new IGCSE and BTEC qualifications in the next academic year, giving its students multiple pathways to future success. And I am excited to welcome Mr. Michael Donahue to the stage. Hello. So, you come on there. Is it Mick or Mr. Michael?
I know I saw Michael on there before. I apologize. Only banks and insurance companies call me Michael. So officially, yes, but Mick is easier because I can say Mickey Mouse, and that makes the kids laugh every time.
All right, Mick. Well, it's nice.
Mick.
All right, Mick. Nice to meet you. Thanks for taking time out of your busy day to speak with us today here at the schools fair. A question I like to start with, and just sort of hear your reaction to, is when you get up in the morning and you're going to make that commute to get to school. What do you get excited about? Why? What's that reason you're saying, wow, this is why I go to British Concordance International School?
Endless possibilities, I would have to say. We're the youngest in the AEG group of schools. We've been open about 30 months. And during that time, we've gone from 22 kids to nearly 300. So about 1,300% growth. And we're about to open a new building. We're extending our secondary. So there are just so many possibilities here, both from a learning standpoint for our students who get to do a UK national curriculum in a very innovative way. And even from our staff, from our parents, there's just a general excitement about being here because we have so many possibilities to carve out the path that we see as best for our community.
Fantastic. Take me through, what a day in the school looks like for, the various students that you have. What does ingress and regress look like, and how does the day flow?
Yeah, being an international school in this region, especially, we have 31 countries represented with our 280 some odd students. So it is really important that we are meeting the needs of all of those learners where they are at. So we have, in my opinion, one of the best ESL programs that I've ever seen anywhere. And I used to work in the US and other places where our English learners are the first 3 periods of the day during their core subjects are learning not just language arts ESL, but they are learning science and humanities related. So subject related ESL for 3 periods. We piloted this last year in our first year, 40% reintegrated back into their homerooms. And so we want to make sure we're meeting our learners where they are so that at a certain point they can be on more even par and learn as much as possible together. We also have in primary, at least, our core subjects taught in the morning. kids are fresher and ready to learn some of the, the deeper academics. And we save our specialist classes for the afternoon, where they have PE and more of their creative classes during that time. So our kids really enjoy the schedule, right? They get their heavy work out of the way in the morning, the way that they see it, and they get to do their more fun classes where there's also a significant learning happening in the afternoons. And it seems to really work well for us and for our community.
Awesome. I know that I spoke about this in the introduction that I read, but we have a question from our community asking if you can just confirm if you offer the IGCSEs and what you're accepting entrance into.
Yeah, so next year will be our first year. This year, our oldest students are year 9. So our year 9 students will be going to year 10, where they'll IGCSE pathway will be available to them, as well as a BTech pathway. We are the only school in Chiang Mai that I know of right now that offer the BTech pathway. For IGCSEs, we are actually running a scholarship program right now, so please inquire. We're specifically looking for students who want to be a part of that program. The way we set it up in secondary as we expand in that direction is if you are heavily academic, we have the IGCSE program that leads to A-levels and straight to university. On the flip side of that is BTech, which is more vocational and skill-based. And we also have a blended pathway for those who have some strong academics and some vocational interests. So all 3 of those sectors are covered for our students choice-wise as they move into secondary. So for anyone with IGCSE questions, please inquire directly to the school. If your child is about to enter into that realm, we're looking for great academic students for our scholarship program for that explicit need.
Tell me, so let's maybe assuage some fears or do some risk removal around there, where it's like, wow, I don't, for people who are just, would come and bring their child to enter into your 9th grade program. What's it like to be a pioneer in that? What's it like to be that first class that's going to then move up through the ranks and be the first graduating class?
Yeah, I think, again, we're lucky community-wise that we have a really strong group of young leaders in our secondary group. And is that situation for everyone? No, it's not. But for kids who have confidence and who want to lead and who want to have independence and options for them to have a voice in their own school and how it unfolds, I think that our year 8 and year 9 students are very excited. They lead events here. They run booths when we have things. They have a lot of say in how the school works. They run our entrepreneurship program, the Nights Market, which my students created last year. So they already have a lot of voice here, probably more than they can in a more established place. And so for the students we have now here, they're excited that to them it's an opportunity, and they enjoy being included more than they maybe have been in their past educational experiences.
Fantastic. The person who was asking about the IGCSEs wants to learn a little bit more about the BTech program, if you wouldn't mind. And I know that you made the distinction between academic and vocational, but what exactly is BTech?
Yeah, so BTech, so when our new building opens in the back, tentatively slated for August of 25, right, for our new school year, we will have a food technology lab, science and chemistry and physics lab, a creative media lab. All of these are hands-on co-experiential learning, where you're learning cross-curricularly, you're learning future skills like critical thinking alongside your standards-based UK national. BTech is more of the vocational project and skill-based pathway, whereas the IGCSEs are heavily academic, lots of studying for big tests, and then of course the blended pathway in the middle. So by offering both, if you're very strong academically, you have a clear pathway to those universities you're hoping to get to. But even on the BTech side, it can either lead to an instant career, depending on the field you've chosen, whether it's technology, food tech, those kind of things, or you also still have a pathway to university if that is where you end up at the end of that part of your journey. And so I would describe BTech as more skill-based, vocational, project-based demonstrations of what you've learned, and the choices are on the IGCSE, English, math, science, the kind of subjects you're used to. Whereas on the BTech side, they're a lot wider ranging and are more geared towards industries, right? So technology-based ones and hospitality-based ones. So there's just an all-encompassing between the two of them. But I would say BTech is just more skill, project, and vocationally based as compared to the IGCSEs.
Fantastic. I think that you just got a shout out on YouTube by maybe one of your young learners there, and they're calling you Mr. Vic. So I'm just letting you know.
Thanks for watching, guys. You should be learning right now, though. Oh, it's break time for secondary. Okay, no problem.
I love it. That's fantastic. That's wonderful. I'd love to hear your perspective and your opinion about why Chiang Mai. So many of the people who have come to BKK Kids or whatever, I mean, we've invested in Chiang Mai in terms of, providing information and whatnot. We see it, but I'd love to hear your perspective about why a family would, choose Chiang Mai over a different location in Thailand, and what you see as sort of maybe the next 5 years in Chiang Mai, how it continues to develop and what the benefits are.
Yeah, absolutely. My wife and I were married here. She's from the Philippines, and our son was born here. We were married in Phuket and lived for a while in Bangkok, and then chose to work here. It really comes back to what you would like and enjoy, right? The South is very beach and resort heavy. Bangkok, obviously a big bustling city and lots of energy and opportunities. The North is the mountainous region. It's very green. It's a little bit slower pace of life, and temperature-wise is much cooler. For people that have been in Chiang Mai a long time, they always say to us how much it's changed recently. And I think it's because Chiang Mai leads out to digital nomads and other international people who would like to settle in Thailand outside of Bangkok. And so what we've noticed, at least those of us who work here and live here, is a really thriving international community. I mean, just people from all around the world. I was in Saudi Arabia last summer teaching an entrepreneurship program, and I heard two guys, a Saudi gentleman and an American gentleman, saying that hopefully someday they'd love to retire in Chiang Mai.
Wow.
And I called my wife and I'm like, honey, we already live where people are hoping to retire one day. That was a good clue that we were in the right place. And so, yeah, if you've not visited here before, I would encourage you coming here. I think once you see it, if you're someone who likes the green spaces, the cooler climate, and a little bit slower pace than the capital, Chiang Mai is a great place to raise a family and to live.
Talk to me about, thanks for that. That's wonderful. Talk to me about the sort of transition programs that you have. So, Chiang Mai is attracting a lot of people. They come and the children are at various stages in their academics. How do you bring students in wherever, kind of meet them wherever they're at and make sure that they fit into the school? And then the same thing when they're leaving, what does that look like? How do you help them to move on and, wish them farewell?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of acclimating them when they come here, this is, I think, something we've all learned from seeing the problems that happen when new families are coming to a new community, a new country, a new language, a new schooling system. Everything for them is entirely new. And so our focus really as a management team is to put people first. And in doing so, we care about what our families are specifically going through, what their kids are specifically going through, and we can cater to that. As I mentioned before, our ESL program, any of our students who come in and who would normally be intimidated, having to go into an English-only room when they're just learning the language, don't have that obstacle in front of them. And it allows them to feel more comfortable, more confident quickly. We have buddy programs where newer students are buddied with some of our existing students so that they can make friends quickly, ask the questions that they might not want to ask the grown-ups and want to ask their peers, right? So we do everything that we can in the beginning to make sure we're setting them on the right path, and then continuously check in. Is this working? Is this approach helping you get acclimated? If not, we add to it. On the back end of it, because we're still just in our halfway through our third year, we have not had a graduating class yet. When people have left here for various reasons, usually it's to go to another school in another city or country, we do everything we can to support them as well. We love our kids whether they're staying at BCIS or not. So when families leave, the support and the care continues from us no matter what.
Fantastic. Last question for you is, what are you most excited about? We saw, or we're about to see, the video of your campus and those kinds of things. But what are you most excited about as you continue to develop? You say you're only in your third year there. Beyond, going to that ninth grade and that first graduating class starting to creep closer and closer to it. Is there anything that you're particularly excited about and you see developing?
Yeah, we have a program here we call FUSE, which is Future Skills Education. It's our answer to STEM or STEAM, along with creative technology, which, we want our kids to be the producers of content, not just the consumers of it. And then programs that don't have a grade attached to them, our entrepreneurship program, our school-wide economy system, where our students earn BraveBot in their classroom and have student stores. So they're learning financial literacy, right? These are things that are not going to show up on a report card, that are not attached to a grade, but are extremely important in preparing kids for the world that they live in right now. And so our FUSE program is piloting this year. In terms of the core subjects, it's cross-curricular learning, meaning you're going to have projects where you have English, math, science, and humanities all rolled into one. The second part of that would be creative tech, where our digital literacy teacher and I, Mr. Ben, I design tech curriculums in LA. We have our kids doing, they're already building apps. They're already using AI to create stories and images. They're coding games. So using technology to create and not just to be a passive consumer. And then that last piece, what I just mentioned, the entrepreneurship, the school economy, that things that just don't show up on a report card, but are incredibly important. And that three-headed monster of FUSE, Future Skills Education, I think, again, sets us apart of, you don't have to choose tradition or innovation. We have both. You can still learn the traditional UK national curriculum in a more innovative way. And when you get up higher, split off in whichever direction best suits your interests and needs personally. So I'm just excited about all the possibilities, but in particular, FUSE isn't just a program for us, it's an approach of making sure that our kids are really prepared for the future.
I love it.
And I think we do it better than anybody.
Well, Mr. Mick, thanks so much for taking the time out of, I'm sure what is a super busy day, to speak with us. We got to give a shout out to Raifu Fin and Nyan Lin Pae. Both of them came out and gave you a high five. They're our first students to come out and give comments. So I got to say, that's a thumbs up to you. You've engendered that. So
love you guys. Thank you for the love back. Thank you so much for allowing us this opportunity to share what we love about our school. Our video is more of just a kind of a tour because you were going to hear all the juicy bits from me anyway. So enjoy the tour of our beautiful campus. And thanks again for the opportunity.
Have a great one. Thank you so much. And without further ado, here's that wonderful tour. And thank you once again to Mr. Mick and the folks over at British School for that presentation. Our next school up is SBS International School, Chiang Mai. SBS International School Chiang Mai offers a comprehensive Cambridge curriculum from early years through secondary, nurturing inquiry, knowledgeable, and caring individuals. Their students embody the key value of confidence, responsibility, innovation, reflection, and engagement. SBS multilingual proficiency at SBS multilingual proficiency is a core strength, with students excelling in Thai, English, and Mandarin. They celebrate both local traditions and cultures while fostering a broad international perspective. Their diverse community of classmates, teachers, and friends from various countries and backgrounds cultivates an appreciation for different viewpoints, enriching the educational experience. And I am very excited to welcome to the stage here Head of School, Mr. Lee Phillips. Mr. Lee, how are you today?
I'm awesome, thank you. It's another very, very busy day here in Chiang Mai. I think there's no international school that doesn't have a busy day throughout the world. But yes, it keeps me on my toes.
Fantastic. I have a couple questions I want to actually start here with. The first one I really want to start with is one that I've asked everybody who's come in to present here in our online school fairs here, and that is, Mr. Lee, when you get up and you're about to make your commute in the morning, what are you most excited about, as you're making your way to SBS?
I'm most excited about another fantastic day in Chiang Mai, and I'm just filled with pride in going to help be part of a leadership team in what is, my eyes, a fantastic educational institution providing a huge range of benefits and opportunities for our students. But let me just think one moment. What am I most excited about? I'm most excited about that first high five that the kid gives you when you walk in. I'm most excited about standing at the school gate and saying hello to the parents and the community as they come through. And I'm most excited about, sort of the great greenery that we see around me, from Doi Sutep, the mountains, to the paddy fields that surround the school. And yeah, it just makes you really thankful for another day on this planet.
I love it. That's fantastic. Specific question for you. What is the medium of instruction across the school? Is it English or Thai? Because it's the school, has called out that it's multilingual.
Yeah, absolutely. And what does multilingual mean for us? I suppose all of our instruction is in English. So the students' lessons, all the instruction, the communal areas, you're going to hear English. We're an English-speaking international school. But multilingual to us means that all of our students will be proficient in 3 languages by the end of their time here. And those 3 languages being English, Chinese, and Thai. We have Chinese first language speakers who come to the school, and they will have, of course, fluency in their mother tongue. We don't give up on their mother tongue, and actually they'll be taking HSK or, sort of home language qualifications in that. But most importantly, they'll also make great progress in Thai and English. Our first language Thai speakers will do the same for Chinese and English. And for those coming to us who are English first language learners, they will do Chinese and Thai as additional languages. For the rest of the world, those who are coming in from Myanmar or Korea or Russia or Germany, which we have lots of students who are a very diverse international community, they will pick up those 3 languages as additional languages. So we're not a school that offers an open selection of languages, French, Spanish, Japanese, etc. We basically focus on the 3 languages that are the most important for this region of the world, Southeast Asia, but more importantly, the expanding global community. So for our students at the age of 18 to be able to speak English, Chinese, and Thai in a proficient way, that gives them a massive advantage.
100%. Yeah, I mean, I wish I spoke 3 languages, that's for sure. We have a question from our community that for SBS, ask about your secondary qualifications, and do you offer or IB in the last 2 years?
We are a Cambridge through school. That means that we're offering Cambridge all the way from nursery up until year 13. Our secondary school, we offer IGCSE Cambridge qualifications in year 10 and year 11. And then we go to AS and A2 or A-level qualifications through Cambridge in year 12 and year 13. Our students will take up to 8 IGCSEs in year 10 and 11. 4 will be elective in terms of their subject choices. And then once they get to A-level, they will take 4 Cambridge A-levels. And again, of those, 3 will be elective and 1 will be core. So a student leaving here, being with us throughout the full tenure, will have up to 8 IGCSEs and 4 A-levels. when I say up to, we are a school that is dynamic and bespoke. If a student is particularly wanting to take some extracurricular lessons in, let's say, potentially something that we don't cover, Japanese as a language, then we'll always facilitate that as an exam center. Even though we may not have the specific teachers here, we can provide a quiet space for their online tuition, etc. But we provide those 8 taught lessons.
Fantastic. Talk to me about other extracurriculars. So, your sports program, arts and sciences, and those kinds of things outside the academic realm. Like, how robust is that?
We've got some very good facilities, world-class facilities here in terms of sports. So we have a huge indoor gymnasium, which is air-conditioned. That's predominantly used for basketball, but it's also used for 6-a-side and 7-a-side football at times as well. One of the key factors there, indoor, protected, and with the air conditioning. We all know Chiang Mai can get very, very warm during those sort of Songkran months. And so that provides a safe and protected environment for the students. We've just completed, so it's come into operation in January, a very sort of international standard swimming complex that provides a large secondary and primary swimming pool with a reception pool as a separate entity. And we have the fantastic mezzanine floor for the parents in our community to sit upstairs, enjoy a coffee and look down at the students as they're doing their ECAs or their Saturday club, swim club, those kind of things. We have an all-weather pitch for our footballers, and our football team is getting more and more experience playing other schools in the Chiang Mai community. We hosted recently Meriton, we've had Grace, we've had a couple of the other international schools. The headmasters have come down, we've shaken hands, and we've enjoyed that healthy competitive nature that sport can bring. In terms of the arts, we have very, very capable students who are competing in music. We have some fantastic piano players on the sort of national and international stage, and we support those with their extracurricular activities. But one thing I'd like to really point out that we provide outside of the classroom, which to me is quite unique and something that I didn't really see in the international circuit since my days many, many years ago of growing up in the United Kingdom, is our internship program. So our internship program is facilitating students who are in year 10, 11, 12, and 13 to take anything, from 20 to 200 hours outside of the school and work with our internship partners. In the olden days, we called it work experience. But for us, I remember many, many years ago, I worked in IT, and for my work experience when I was 15, I went to Codemasters, and I was a games tester. I think it was called Brian Lara Cricket back in the early 90s. And for me, it really inspired and ignited a love of IT and computer science. I went on to be a computer science teacher when I came into education. For our students who are interested in biomedical science or engineering, the ability to go, and we facilitate this, into local hospitals, engineering companies, and other institutions, not only around Chiang Mai, but slightly further afield, for periods within their Songkran break, their summer break, their Christmas break, gives them a portfolio that's outside of just certificates from external examination bodies.
Sure,
and when they then apply to university, it provides a richness to their offer. And so our students particularly do well then with their university offers, because they can see, rather than just studying a suite of 8 IG and let's say 4 A level, that they've been tried and tested in a medical faculty in one of the big universities or an engineering company. So yeah, I think I'm very proud at the moment of our internship program, but there's even more great things coming as we expand into the future.
Don't steal my next question. That's my next question. But with the extracurricular work activity opportunities, are those all true internships, or are they also paid opportunities as well?
True internships. Yeah, we don't do this for any kind of reciprocal financial gain. This is something that is for the student's portfolio. So quite often we need to do a lot of work with the companies to get it set up, of course. One of the biggest reasons why a school wouldn't do this is because of the health and safety reports and the risk assessment and the huge amount of admin that comes along with it. But this is a cost that's well worth paying, in our opinion. And when we support the students going to those companies, they will do that for no payment over a set period of time. And then the company will give feedback to those students, and the students can use it in their personal portfolio. So we have a student who's going to work with a big investment company in Bangkok in quarter 4, so over the next 3 or 4 months. And they'll come back and feedback on how they've done. Equally, we have some big universities in Nakhon Siwan from a medical point of view who are going to be providing sort of medical camps for our students during the holidays, so our students can work with cadavers, the older students, but also have a look and see what the undergraduate students are doing at university, and it'll mean that they'll have a far more informed choice when it comes to their university selection process.
Wow. I mean, I remember the frog dissection. You and I, we're of the same age group, you know, but I don't remember the cadaver part. So that's
there's a lot of health and safety and risk assessment with that one.
I can only imagine. That's fantastic. We have a couple of community questions here that I want to just grab real quick before we go to your video.
Okay.
I know you've already talked about the language that you offered. That was one of the questions in there, that you are a trilingual school, but also, so do you offer scholarships for Thai students?
We do. We offer scholarships, both internal and external, and we don't base our scholarships on passport. So our scholarships are based on academic ability, opportunity for the students, and the right candidate. We're particularly busy at the moment in our external scholarship program. We're seeing students coming in with 8 A stars in IGCSE, applying for our year 12 and our year 13. I think I'm on the 5th or 6th student this quarter who's under that category. At the moment, we're really strong demographics coming from Myanmar, from Korea, and further afield. We accept scholarships from all over the world as long as they meet that program. Our admissions team can show the criteria, and it always involves not just a test or not just their results, but also a really in-depth interview from the senior leadership team. It needs to be the SBS student. We need to have somebody who, you know, that has that go the extra mile attitude, and that holistic approach to education. So Thai students, Australian students, UK students, if they meet that profile, we'll welcome them here at school.
Fantastic. You mentioned the mezzanine when you were kind of giving us that verbal tour of the campus there. Talk to me more about parent involvement in the school and, you know, opportunities to participate as well as influence what happens.
So the parents, they can elect to be part of the parent representative community, of which I meet 4 times per year. So this will be somebody who represents a particular year group. At the moment, I've actually got 30 parents who are on the parent rep committee. I meet with up to 30 parents if they can make it for each of the meetings. I've actually got one due in 2 weeks' time. And that gives me absolutely valuable feedback in the pulse of the school community. I need to feel that heartbeat of what's going on with the students, with the staff, and really importantly, with the parents. So they can get involved that way. We have also all kinds of committees about fundraising in terms of supporting local sort of service organizations. We do lots of work with communities up in the hills, the local hills around Chiang Mai, as well as areas for animal welfare, etc. From my point of view, I can't get enough parent feedback. It's absolutely, you know, sort of directed for me into all the decisions I make. If I come to look at the school year for next year, if I come to look at staffing policy, I'll speak to my parent reps first and ask, hey, from your point of view, what do you think about this? I'm talking to you now with a hat on as a headmaster, head of school, but I actually am a dad. And I have a 2.5-year-old son who's in the school as well. And so when I sit with the parents sometimes, I take my head of school hat off and I sit with them and we chew the cud about being parents in the school. That gives me a really unique perspective on, I would only trust a school with my son that does a really good job. My career comes second to my son's education. So I would not have my son in a school that I didn't think was one of the best in Chiang Mai.
Fantastic. So with that in mind, you alluded to what the future could hold there. As the head of school, you're privy to those development plans, and obviously you share them with your community as well. But what are you most excited about maybe for the next 12, 24 months in terms of, is it building gentrification or new buildings? Is it new facilities? Is it a new program? Like what are the things that you're most excited about in this near future?
I think we're on a path of growth. We've got a new era of education here at the school. We're 10 years old this year. And I think, you know, sort of, we've got to a point where we're about to start that new element of exponential growth going up. Our student numbers are rising, which means it's a great problem to have, but it means that we're now on a recruitment drive for the summer to find extra teachers. We have a new salary scale for our teachers this year, which means that our teachers are international standard in terms of qualifications and experience. the kind of teachers that come to work for us, the kind of teachers that you'll see in the top international schools in Bangkok and further afield. To answer your question, what am I most excited about? I think all of that, in terms of student numbers and quality teaching and learning in the classroom, gives me the ability to provide options for the students. We really value IGCSE Cambridge and A-level Cambridge. But actually, looking to the future, I want to explore what other avenues are out there for our students. It might be EPQs for our year 12s and 13s. It might be further MOUs with universities around the world to get our university counsellor really embedded in those top institutions. Of course, facilities is always on the top of my list. It costs a lot of money to build a new swimming complex. We've got a brand new canteen coming this summer, so all enclosed with air conditioning, clean air, and fantastic food on offer. We've also got a big renovation of our outside space. Again, once you get to 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, it's really important in Thailand to make sure you have an ongoing scheme of renovation. So we have top-class, world-class facilities here that's on an ongoing basis. But yeah, I'm just excited, I guess, about sort of the growing brand and the awareness of our school. I love working with the other schools in the area. I have several friends who are headmasters at schools in the other area, and we talk about where we're going as a group of schools. I think you can't be negatively competitive in an environment like this. It's good to work together, and it's good to speak to other schools. We all have our advantages, and we all have our USPs. I'm massively proud of ours, and I think we do our students a great job, but it's important that we keep everything in mind.
Fantastic. Mr. Lee, thanks so much for taking time out of your super busy day to talk with us. Wonderful to meet you, and I wish you all the best. But we're going to move on to your video now, and so have a great day.
That's great. Have a great day. Thank you very much.
And without further ado, here's SBS video.
The Artit Orat Institution is a leading Thai-based education group with a family of globally focused international schools. Each school in the Artit Orat Institution offer an international curriculum tailored to the needs of its specific community, delivered by highly qualified and experienced educators from around the world.
As the world becomes more globalized, education is even more important to build up the strength and readiness for the world. So Artit Orat Institution has pioneered the new concept to be the first international bilingual education.
High-quality teaching and learning at Artit Orat institutions involve creating a safe and supportive environment that fosters a love of learning, encourages critical thinking and creativity, and inspires students to reach their full potential. Teachers utilize a variety of teaching strategies and approaches, such as inquiry-based learning, student-centered learning, and differentiated instruction to cater to the diverse needs of students. They provide timely feedback, set high expectations, and scaffold learning to ensure that all students are challenged and supported. SBS International School Chiang Mai, nestled in the heart of northern Thailand, offers a trilingual curriculum in a vibrant, multicultural environment. British International School Phuket boasts a sprawling 45-acre campus and a renowned high-performance sports program. SBS Rangsit, just outside Bangkok, stands out with its bilingual approach and specialised tracks, including cutting-edge medical science programs. SBS International School Bangkok joins our family bringing innovative bilingual education to the heart of Thailand's capital. Each school embodies our commitment to excellence, preparing students for success on the global stage. Artit Orat institutions schools place a strong emphasis on the development of 21st century skills, such as communication, collaboration, digital literacy, and global citizenship, to prepare students for success in an increasingly complex and interconnected world. The AOI schools place great emphasis on the well-being of each child, with both whole school programs and one-to-one support for each child. Students at each of the schools benefit from extensive extracurricular offerings, including sports, service, and artistic learning opportunities beyond the classroom. These students graduate as leaders of tomorrow, progress onto some of the finest university courses in the world, and lead successful careers in their respective fields. The schools take pride in their place in the community, becoming hubs of learning, giving to and supporting their local and international communities, united by a shared passion for the opportunities inherent in modern-day global education.
Thank you once again to SBS for that great presentation, and thank you to Mr. Lee again for taking time out of his busy day to speak with us. Wonderful presentation. So many good things happening in Chiang Mai. It's just really exciting. Again, as I've said, we've invested in Chiang Mai 3 years ago with chiangmaikids.com because we know that it's a growing, vibrant community. There's even so much more than just the school environment is growing there. There's the business community, as you heard other people say, the digital nomad community and whatnot. It's a different choice in Thailand for a different kind of environment, for a slower pace, huge natural settings. I've been there several times myself. Absolutely love it. And so we're really excited to continue to work with everybody. Please go over and visit chiangmaikids.com to learn specific information. We've got blog posts about Chiang Mai, about how to be a great parent there, how to survive the Chiang Mai universe, especially that time that you hear everybody talk about during Songkran when it gets really hot and sometimes the air isn't so great. But go over and check it out, because right now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be moving on to Phuket. Phuket is a new investment for BKK Kids as well. We recognize that Phuket is much like Chiang Mai. It's another choice inside Thailand for a great place to live as a family. And there's a growing school population as well as opportunities for work and whatnot. And so the international community and the need for international schools there is growing as well. And we have some fantastic schools that we're going to be showing off here. Well, we have one school that we're showing off here, and then we have two school services. Let's call them, extra services that we're going to be talking about here as well. And so without further ado, I would like to introduce our first school from Phuket. And that is not the one I was looking for. The first school from Phuket is the British International School Phuket. BSIP it's actually really fantastic to introduce them as well, because they were our founding school, helping us to anchor our new site up there, and they've been hugely supportive of BKK Kids. So I want to give a huge shout out to them. British International School Phuket, or BISP, is a co-educational day and boarding school for early years, primary and secondary school for students 2 to 18 years old. It offers the IB Diploma, BTEC Sports Diploma, IGCSE, and the Cambridge ESOL examinations. The BISIP also offers high-performance academies in football, golf, swimming, tennis, and aerial arts, and an externally assessed program from the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Arts. With the mission to inspire learning, nurture well-being, and ignite passion, the school aims to deliver the highest standards of teaching and learning to an international community on a modern and well-equipped 44-acre campus. Absolutely fantastic. Super excited to have them join us this year. And I will pull up their presentation video for us. There we go. Without further ado, here is BISP. Thank you so much to BSIP Phuket for that presentation. And now we have a really special treat. This year, as a part of our online schools fair, we actually have two organizations joining us that aren't necessarily schools, but they offer incredible programs that are really important to learners and the schools that they connect with. And one of those is, as you can see on the screen, Crimson Global Academy. Crimson Global Academy, known as CGA, is Asia's leading online international school for ages 8 to 18, offering internationally recognized curriculum such as IGCSEs, A-levels, and AP courses that can be taken part-time or full-time. Globally accredited and with teachers that have an average of 15 years of experience teaching, CGA was built for flexibility, academic acceleration, and personalized learning. And I am super excited to welcome to the stage Mr. Ronan Kearney.
Hi, Stephen. Thanks
there
for having me.
Hello, Ronan. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. And yourself?
I am wonderful. Now, where are you joining me from? Since you are a virtual school, much like we are a virtual company, where do we find you?
Yep. So I'm based in Melbourne most of the year. I am usually in the UK for a few months as well, working with our school that's kind of based for the Northern Hemisphere. But day to day, usually I'm down in the Southern Hemisphere in Melbourne, Australia.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thanks for taking time out of your day to join us. It's really, I'm excited to learn about Crimson Global Academy and how you support students and whatnot. So just, because you're not a typical entrant into our school fair, our online school fair, where you have a physical building and, you're talking about pastoral care and those kinds of things, just give us a quick introduction about, describe what Crimson is to you and how you support students.
Yeah. So Crimson Global Academy is a fully online international school. We are accredited with the Ministry of Education in New Zealand, which is where our school first started, and then has expanded from that to include a school based out of the UK and also one in the US. Across our three main schools, we support students from primary age 8 right up to A-level or AP age at 18, and really have everything that you would expect to see at an international school. So that is in terms of curriculum development from Key Stage 3 right up to A-level for the A-level pathway, but also assemblies, form times, pastoral leaders, heads of departments, house competitions led by our student leaders. It is the same sort of package that you would expect to get from any international school, but of course with those differences of being fully online. So there is an element of flexibility there for our families, and there's a different way of socialization for our students as well because of the online nature of the school, and then the in-person events that we would run both locally for our families in different countries and globally, where they get to come together as a global community at our school.
Fantastic. My understanding is that one of the key ways that you interact with families, or that a way a lot of students come to you, is if they have either fallen behind or accelerate, or they drop out of what would be maybe the normal path of the education journey. Talk to me about that. Like, what does that look like if a learner comes to you and says, "Look, I either need to catch up, or there's extra help I need"? Is that something where they come to your system and then they're in and they follow your path, or is it they come and you support them for a while and they go back to the school that they were at, or how does that work?
Yeah, we tend to get both. So for what we would say are full-time students who are fully with us for their online learning, they have come out of the mainstream education in their own country, and that can be because they want to accelerate. So about 40% of our students are accelerating in at least one of their courses, or that they feel, or their parents feel, that they weren't getting the support they needed to be successful in the mainstream education that they're receiving. So for those full-time students, again, it can be that they want to be academically challenged. We place students by ability, not age, or it could be they have additional needs that couldn't be fully supported in their local school. So that could be things like an SEND requirement. So again, we have a qualified SENCO who works with us and will be full-time with us from this September, who really looks after all of our students, ensures they've got all the support and the training for both them, their families, and staff to ensure that they're successful with us. On the other side, we've got our part-time students who might just be doing one subject with us, and that can be For instance, particularly in maths, we see students who want to accelerate faster than what they can learn in their local curricula. So they may just take math as an additional one to be ahead and just be really engaging and enjoying being challenged. And then we also have students who might be struggling with the subject in their local schools and go, actually, it would be great to have a little bit more support. And that can either be in a small group session, which is our sort of standard model for our group full-time students. But we also then offer a more bespoke, specialized one-to-one program where students who either need a lot of flexibility in the times of their learning or just want that one-to-one support, maybe for one subject, maybe for 2 or 3, to really have a personalized teacher, tutor to go through with them. And that can either follow our curriculum, our international GCSEs, A-levels, or APs, or it can align with what they're learning in school if they just wanted a supplementary rather than full curriculum delivery to really support what they're doing in their local school.
If somebody were to do that, let's just say hyper-personalized, I need math help or I need physics help or whatever it is that, a full tuition kind of payment? Like, they got an application, full tuition, those kinds of things? Or is it really like an individualized program in terms of financial commitment and those kinds of things as well?
It's individual for financial commitment as well. Yeah. So we have a full-time application fee, which would be as a full-time student, and then everything else is a different fee depending on the level. So if you're taking one course, that's different if it's 2 or 3. If it's supplementary versus you want to do a full GCSE, that would be different again.
We have a question from our community here. It says, if my son can't get entrance to a school until later in the year, can they join Crimson Academy first to start the year before they get admission and then transition into the school?
Yep, absolutely. So we have families who have done that. They know they're going to be moving, sometimes halfway around the world, and they don't want too much disruption in their child's learning. So what they do is they might start with us. They may continue afterwards with 1 or 2 subjects, or it might just be to keep them at the correct level to be able to join the curriculum where the school are moving into later in the year, and that they haven't fallen behind in any subject. And again, all of those are absolutely fine to use CGA for, as well as the full-time curriculum as well.
So if a student studies online with you, you're fully online, how do they take physical exams or the exams that they need in order to get certified, etc.?
Yeah. So for our international GCSEs and international A levels, we have actually been partnering with Pearson EdXL over the past 2 years and have been working with them and have now fully implemented and developed their remote invigilation service, which is all of our students can take all of their GCSEs, all of their A levels fully remotely from home, supervised by the exam board. So again, that really supports our students, that they can be based anywhere in the world and know that they can get their qualifications the same way if they'd been in a physical school.
Fantastic. What's the biggest challenge that you find when you're it sounds like people who are going to join Crimson are already thinking in an innovative way, first of all, but what are the challenges that you run up against? I heard you say earlier that you have times when you have in-person meetings in the different countries that you serve, etc. But what are the other maybe sort of unique pieces that you've put into your idea as a school so that you're incorporating socialization and those other pieces that obviously young learners need?
Yep. So I think one of the key bits that came first is even just things how we run assemblies, house meetings are maybe a little bit different from traditional schools in that it's actually student-led, supported by their pastoral deans. So we really want to use assembly as a way to showcase the interaction our students have with each other and also what they're doing in their local communities. So every assembly starts with, of course, music performances from both staff and students. Can't just be the students, but also then showcasing and highlighting the key interests that students have outside of school, as well as the connections they've made within school, and really using it to celebrate student success as well as their own individual projects or interests. So that is highlighting the clubs that they're running. We have in our Iraqi campus, which is our Southern Hemisphere campus, 37 student or staff-led clubs running online. It's not just online clubs, it is also things like Cooking Club, where they're all doing it live at the same time with each other, and really thinking about how we can bring all those elements into an online environment. The other side of that, of course, is wanting to see how do our students actually get on with each other if we do have these in-person events. And this year we've had, actually November last year, our first international school trip to Vietnam. And then our first student camp was just 2 weeks ago in Nelson in Auckland, where we had students from mainly New Zealand, Australia, Japan, and Singapore all join us to actually be able to catch up in person. And again, it's just so great for us to see how easily they interact socially with each other and how seamlessly, they kind of support each other as a school community in person as well as online.
I'm going to ask you what's going to be like I don't know if this is going to be a curveball or what, but
yeah.
On one end, you have the traditional school. We've seen a bunch of those. And then the other end, you have what we would call, Crimson right now. But what you just described is, it blends into that traditional school. And that in the traditional schools that, there's just so much that you have to do online now, right? It's so much is digital first. Where do you see, as your vision from Crimson, do you see those two pathways sort of blending into the future? And if so, like, is it the immediate future, or is that still 5-10 years out?
Yeah, so I think the blending's already happening. We have partner schools in several countries, so in China, in New Zealand as well, where we teach some classes for them because they cannot, have enough teachers for the entire curriculum. So that blending between traditional and online schools is already happening. For us as a school ourselves, thinking about our vision for our students is very much a blended. So we want, lessons to be online, of course, to have a really active social environment online for students, but in no way would we negate the importance of those social interactions in person or being part of local communities as well. So for us, getting to the point where our global network also allows students to come together in person is just the end goal and already happening. So we run science practicals in New Zealand, Australia, and are looking to expand that now to Asia this year too. So our students can come together to do their in-person science practicals, as well as using the technology that we have online to do virtual practicals and trials of it. And the same for the social side to actually be able to come together in different countries to meet up socially or for academic reasons, as well as learning in that online environment.
Fantastic. That's wonderful. Another question from our community. Do you offer special courses for students with learning challenges like ADD or autism?
Yeah, so we don't offer specific courses for them, but all of our staff are trained and have a SENCO or special educational needs coordinator who trains regularly to support students with additional learning needs. So what happens is for any student who has a special educational learning need, before they join the school, the family and the student would meet with our SENCO to talk through the needs and how they could be best supported, be that a one-to-one environment or be that in a group lesson, to ensure that we can then go through with each of their classroom teachers before their first lesson, how best to support them, what works well for them in lessons, things to avoid in lessons, how to utilize paired work for them, group work, as well as individual work to ensure that they're fully supported and have everything they need to be successful from their first lesson.
Fantastic. Final question for you. What are you most excited about with Crimson Global Academy? I mean, this is cutting edge stuff. I'm sure you get lots of unusual questions and lots of parents coming to you saying, how do I fit this into what I think is normal? What are you excited about for the next 12 to 24 months?
Yeah. So I think the best bit for me about Crimson is it is the personal connections with students from all over the world. So, that can be from doing interview prep for universities to helping them organize their book club or their Minecraft club. And I think one of the big things for us is that development across. So the curriculum, GCSE A-level curriculum in particular, what we run across 2 of our campuses, is a strong gold standard curriculum. So we know students are getting a really positive experience academically, but what we really enjoy doing is looking at, okay, how can we then improve this from both parent perspective, student perspective, and teacher perspective? How can we utilize new technologies that are coming out to improve and enhance the online learning experience? And then how do we, both pastorally as well as academically, support these students? So one of our new ways of engaging families this year is our LIFE program, which is effectively their pastoral program that they're doing with their form tutors, but really focusing on key goals each term, such as physical activity in their local communities, getting involved in volunteering, and really building out the whole profile of the person, not just their academics online. And we've seen that as a really big bonus and has really enthused the students and actually engaging with each other, getting involved in more clubs. And that's been really great to see this year.
Fantastic. Well, Mr. Roden, thank you so much for taking time out of your day. Really appreciate it. Really love learning about Crimson Global Academy. Wonderful to have you as a part of our fair this year. But now it's time to show your video, which of course is not a tour of your campus, but I'm excited to see what it is.
Thank you very much.
Have a great day. And we will bring Crimson Global
Welcome to Crimson Global Academy, a world-leading global online private school for aspiring students. From North America to Asia, to Australia and New Zealand, to Europe, Africa and Middle East, students join classes from around the world to be inspired and engaged as they achieve an accredited, internationally recognised education. What makes our school environment so special is the collaboration between our dedicated families and our school faculty. Together, we unlock each student's extraordinary future. From day one, we designed our school to be online. Our ability-based approach works to ignite a passion for learning, where students' academic performance is not limited by age. Students can complete their primary, middle and high school years online at CGA, at the pace and with the mode of learning that suits them best. Our students have triumphed against global benchmarks and have received some of the highest marks in the world. Our students' internationally recognised curricula opens doors to top universities, both internationally and locally. Dreaming of admission to Cambridge, Oxford, Princeton, Stanford, Columbia. These are some of the universities CGA alumni have been admitted into. We encourage students to dream big to unlock their limitless potential. We're seeing a rise in enrolments among student athletes who are seeking flexibility, and likewise performers whose schooling needs to fit around their commitments outside of the classroom. World-travelling families at CGA get to experience the world around them as they gain an accredited education. Rurally based students that prefer the lifestyle of learning from home, and those seeking a more inclusive and supportive learning environment too, are thriving at CGA. We partner with our families and provide them with the tools at their fingertips to track their child's academic progress, while also staying connected with their holistic development across our global community of campuses. Students join a diverse community of learners from around the world, enriching cultural understanding and global perspectives. Underpinning all of this is our world-class faculty. Our teachers bring 20 years plus experience to the classroom and teach in small classrooms averaging 10 to 12 per class, or through one-on-one settings. Our teachers bring with them a legacy of first-class student results, and we have recruited them from a global network of educators who are among the best in the world. Are you ready to start your journey at the world's leading online school? Join other CGA families with world-class schooling online and unlock an extraordinary future.
Thank you once again to CGA and Mr. Ronan for joining us today. Really appreciated him taking time out of his day to talk to us about that. What fantastic opportunity and a new way to approach education, which is, welcome to the future. Love it. Our final organization that's going to be joining us today, again, is another new entrant into our online school fails. What I'm really excited to have them today with us, and it's called the Jump Foundation. In today's rapidly evolving world, traditional education models are increasingly challenged to equip students with the skills and resilience they need to thrive. The Jump Foundation, a global leader in experiential education, is at the forefront of this transformation. They empower students, educators, and organizations through transformative learning experiences that foster leadership, resilience, and global citizenship. So today, we're going to be joined by Justin Bedard, which I hope that I did not just destroy his name, who's the executive director of Jump, and Jake Johnson, who's the head of Jump Experiences, to address critical questions facing students, parents, and educators. We're going to explore how experiential education can re-engage disengaged teens, combat rising anxiety, ensure safe risk-taking, enhance university admissions, prepare students for future jobs, integrate into high school curricula, bridge the gap to real-world readiness, and demonstrate educational ROI and build resilience for an uncertain future. So without further ado, I'm going to add both of these gentlemen to the stage with me here. And Shazam, we see Justin and Jake. Welcome.
Hi, Stephen. How's it going?
Well, and yourself, Jake. Nice to see you as well.
Hi, Stephen. Nice to see you.
Where do I'll start with Jake. Where do I find you sitting? Are you actually in offices next to one another, or are you in different parts of the planet, or what's the deal?
We're in the same office building. I'm in a small meeting room that we reserve for external calls. I believe Justin's in his office.
Yeah,
and
we're both in Bangkok, just in Saphon Kwai area.
Okay, fantastic, nice. Well, so I read your introduction blurb, and we'll get to see a short video about you a little later. But Justin, I want to offer you the opportunity, give us the real world perspective. What is JUMP, and how does JUMP integrate or interact with learners and provide them a valuable service?
Yeah, so JUMP's focus is about creating what we call transformational learning. And so these are learning moments that change a learner's perspective of who they are, who other people are, what their community is, how their community can interact, and how the world operates. And so what JUMP does is we create experiences where young people go outside their normal day-to-day school, and they either adventure in an outdoor pursuits perspective, or they dive into a cross-cultural learning perspective around arts and history, or they explore sustainable development and social enterprises. So it's all about creating hands-on experiences that are embedded as part of the larger learning experience that schools are trying to create, both from a pastoral care and from a curricular perspective. So we design trips and experiences that are both on and off campus for international schools around the world. And then we also run summer programs for students to sign up for. And then we generate revenue through those programs, and we fund programs for underserved youth. So we're a nonprofit social enterprise. That's kind of the setup. And I think what's most interesting is that schools will bring us in to innovate their experiential education programs from being a normal just, hey, we're going to go on this trip and do this, to we are going to go and have intentional experiences that foster some of the skills and attributes that kids are going to need in 2023. And as the world changes with AI coming in and all of the frameworks, so schools kind of see us as a way of building some of those, schools and parents see us as a way of building some of those skills and competencies that young people will need that rote learning and academic learning don't necessarily build.
No, love it. Thanks. Jake, how do learners usually learn about you? How do they find you? I know that Justin was just saying that you partner with schools and whatnot, but are there other pathways? Are parents seeking you out for particular reasons, or is this something where it's usually a young person is going to a school and they're like, wow, hey, that's stuff that isn't offered, and this is the only way I'm going to get it? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. So we mainly market to international schools, and students usually find us through the offerings that the international school will put together for the student body using our services. With our the partners that we've been working with for the longest, that we have the closest relationships with, we spend a lot of time on campus in those schools as well. And we do presentations and parent night presentations on the programs that we put together and that we will be delivering for the students. We do also have a website, and we are on marketing channels. And here in Thailand, specifically in Bangkok, you will find us at meet and greet events where we try to engage with parents as well and tell them about the different direct sign-up programs that we offer, where parents or students can sign up directly for our programs. And that would mainly be our summer and expedition programs at the moment.
Fantastic. Thanks. I really appreciate that. Justin, I'll give this one to you. We have a question from the community here. It's like, do you offer programs for younger kids, or is it only for older, more independent kids?
Yeah, so we have a spread of programming. Probably the youngest we would offer programming is grade 4 or year 3 programming. And so, yeah, we build different types of programs. Some are overnight, some are not overnight. And so that depends on the age group as well. But yeah, we have younger programming, and then we have also expeditions to Nepal and big trekking and scuba diving all over the world. So and geographically, we are based out of Bangkok, but we run programs all over Asia. We also have a base in Budapest in Hungary. So we do programming all over Europe. We also have a base in the UK where we have a team based there. And then we have an outdoor adventure center that we run in Western Canada. So different age groups and also different geographic locations.
Sure, yeah. How would a, either a teen or a parent, I guess, any student, you just mentioned, you're 3, but how would a student or a parent sort of self-identify or identify for their child that jump is something that is going to be really valuable and is a great opportunity for, and I'm thinking about some of the things you mentioned, like, preparing for, uncertain situations, right? So, preparing for uncertainty, or, looking towards the next 10 to 15 years where there's just a whole lot changing. And so what kinds of jobs might even be available? Like, how does one raise their hand, say, hey, this is something that I need, or, would identify it's a gap. It's a gap that they need to fill.
Yeah. So I mean, my general preference is not to talk too much about Jump, because we do great stuff, but I actually think our industry and the types of programs that we generate. So I won't speak. I'm going to turn the focus away for at least my response, and speak more to why the work that we do is so important, and why I've dedicated my life to creating these types of programming for young people. So when we look at so I was at this educational innovation conference in France in November, and we were mapping out what does the future of employment look like, and how do we educate to the future of employment. So when you look at 2030 as a year, let's put that out there. Most of the kids that are entering into elementary school or in middle school, that's when they'll be going into a university kind of framework, high school onwards. So when we look at 2030 and beyond, the skill sets that young people are going to need are really around resilience, grit, social emotional understanding, the ability to operate in different environments, in complexity, and evaluate what needs to happen. And so for sure, chemistry class, physics class, there's lots of components of skills that are built from that. But as the world shifts with AI coming into the system, what the future of work looks like is very different, and what universities are going to be looking for is very different. And how you differentiate yourself in that setting as a student who's looking to go to university or looking to get a job is through being able to do storytelling about unique experiences that you've had, how you've grown from those unique experiences, and how you worked with team members around you or classmates around you to achieve an amazing goal of climbing a mountain that no one ever thought they could climb before, or creating a social enterprise or social impact project that you ran that served communities in Cambodia. So what these projects and different experiences, be experiential learning experiences or service learning experiences or outdoor adventure experiences, are really building the baseline skills that are going to allow for young people to succeed in the job market and also get accepted to universities, because that's what they're going to be looking for. And so I think that's when, to answer your question roundabout, like, how does someone know that their kid needs experiential education? I think my argument would be that everybody does. We're in a world where there's just such high levels of anxiety for young people because they're on their devices. They have the stresses. Like, what do they need most, in my opinion, is what they need is to get out into nature and to have fun and to challenge themselves physically so that they can reset their bodies, they can reset their minds, and they can come back to their academics and thrive. So I think this is one of the challenges. Sometimes people see, leaving the school as, oh, they're going to be away from academic time. But in my experience. And also I think data shows that these trips allow for people to reset stress levels, reset focus, and come back. A lot of schools will say, we love having our experiential education trips in October because kids are, have come back from the summer, they've had a long stretch, they're not at Christmas yet, but this is really a reset. And then when they come back to school, they really have that extra energy to get to the end of the school year. So that's in terms of like roundabout answer to your question. I think really all kids need these experiences, and parents, specifically if your kid is dealing with large levels of anxiety, not having a strong sense of connection to the people around them, is addicted or on their technology too much, or if you feel like you don't have a strong connection with your child, these trips will allow for people to be better connected with themselves. And then that allows them to come off of these trips and be better connected again with their parents. We do a lot of parent coaching in collaboration with parents so that they have a skill set of what questions to ask their kids around the dinner table after they've just, gone to Angkor Wat or whatever the trip is. And so part of it is our encouragement really is a lot is parents should really see these and engage them as an opportunity to reconnect with their kids in a meaningful way. I don't know, Jake, what I haven't said that you would add to that. Is there anything you'd add?
Well, and I'd love, Jake, if you while you're filling in the gaps or anything you'd like to add, I'd also love to hear about just sort of the anatomy of a trip. You know what I mean? Like the anatomy of an experience in terms of what does it look like for the learner or what does it look like for the parents? Just to, sort of kind of bring some life to it, because it's just make it less theoretical and sort of take us through one like Angkor Wat or Cambodia or something, whatever it is, like just take us through one of the experiences.
We might have lost Jake.
Uh-oh. You still there, Jake? Did you hear me?
Sorry. I put my microphone on mute. Some
Okay.
of the team had lunch just outside the room. So really the experience starts with a needs assessment between Jump and the school that we're working with. This will highlight academic and pastoral needs from the school. And there's a lot of detail that goes into this. So typically we work with year group academic leaders and pastoral leaders who know these students really well. And then we intentionally design the program and the themes of the program and the activity components around those needs. And so, for example, if we're looking to foster better sort of cultural understanding and awareness, seeing as a lot of international students are coming from the same social economic groups and similar demographics to each other, how do we break out of those confinements and those walls? So we might take them, to Cambodia, for example, and visit Angkor Wat and engage with community members throughout the program. And we intentionally design specific activities that allow the students the autonomy and self-agency on how they actually engage in that activity. So we'll give them parameters and we give them resources. We give them framing from our expert instructors and facilitators to empower them with all of the information they need to then take themselves on a journey through an activity block, for example. So this might look like interviewing market vendors and finding out how they've been impacted by different shifts to the economy, for example, or other industries that have taken root in their area of operation. So is there anything else you would like me to speak to on
No,
that?
sorry. I thought we had a little hiccup in our connection there. I apologize. I was waiting for the connection to come back. I apologize there. No, that's fantastic. Thanks. I really appreciate that. So again, Justin, I'll offer you this one. Again, just sort of for the people who are going to either they're listening live now or going to listen to the recording of this conversation, talk to me from a parent's perspective about, how do I balance, this is great for my child and this is going to help them to, we're kind of taking a risk and putting them out there with, this group of students or with your organization, and kind of talk through that balance of how do I create a wonderful experience, but also allow my student, my child let go and let my child sort of take some risks and grow in a different way.
Yeah, so I think that there's, oh, sorry, Jake, I think you're cutting out. I'll jump in. I think that there is a dynamic around when we look at what is safe. I think parents have perceived risk and actual risk. A lot of these experiences, you want to use actual risk levels that are low, but the students perceive that the risk level is high because it helps create this environment of growth. And so when you're working with parents, part of it is helping parents understand the difference between what is actual risk, meaning at what point are students, is there some potential risk? And so a lot of it is around parent education and understanding that. And so that's a good provider, a good school does a lot of parent education around here's how we're managing risk. We breathalyze bus drivers before they go on the trip. We've done a site visit. We've evaluated, all the rooms have fire alarms. All of that is what we would call the pre-trip risk assessments, and also then communicating. One of the things that I, as a professional in experiential education and as a parent now myself, I'm really the philosophy of to prepare young people to be successful in the future, they have to take safe risks and they have to learn through those safe risks. And we really practice the concept of the best person to manage a risk is a student. Now, you have to have adults around the system supporting them to make sure they're making the right decisions. But the primary person is a student has to be able to identify that is a risk. And I want to either manage that risk myself or ask for some help from an adult to manage that risk or ask for help from one of my peers to manage the risk. And so we work a lot around managing risks through training students in doing risk assessments and understanding what is true risk. Then we also do a comprehensive training. Our facilitators are world-class, first aid trained, all that kind of stuff. And then also training educators. But part of it is also around training parents of how they can work with their students to increase the competencies of young people to self-manage risk. So that when they go off and are independent in Bangkok, walking around the city, they're using some of those concepts of risk management that they learned when they were in 6th grade rock climbing. They're using that same sort of risk management framework when they're making life choices out on the street in Bangkok, or when they get to university, they're utilizing some of those choices. And so parents have to see this not as a risky thing that we need to keep our kids from, but essentially a way for them to train students and their young people to become better at making good choices later on in life because they're going through a safe risk environment. Did I answer your question, Steven?
Yeah, no, I love it. That's exactly right. That's exactly what I was looking for. Jake, I'd love to give you another opportunity to chime in here. I know that we're having a little bit of an internet hiccup here, but something that I think would be really fantastic to hear is if you're able to offer, for lack of a better term, a case study, right? So here's student X and here's how they transformed over, by taking a particular trip or having a particular experience with a group, or, and obviously, we don't have to name names or anything like that, but I'd love to kind of get a real world example of how confidence was built, or how, someone became a bigger risk taker, or how they were able to integrate in groups, or how anxiety was reduced, those kinds of things. Do you have those kinds of stories you tell?
Yeah, so I mean, if I'm completely honest, we in the way that we work with the schools, we have to be very careful about how we share student information. And so we don't typically advertise individual stories or growth journeys for students. We do collect and measure impact on students through our programming. And we have a very thorough system for collecting data on the impact achieved. And that is all compiled into end of program reports and shared with parents and with the schools. What I can say is, and I've been on many programs now here with Jump, I've personally witnessed many transformational journeys with students. And typically with the schools that we work with, these journeys often look like transformation from being quite insular and maybe very sort of segregated, very small friendship groups, a lack of confidence in how to approach outdoor elements, even things like insects or bugs or dirt, having like a real ingrained fear of these things as well. And over the course of a week, being the first to jump into the water or to roll around in the dirt, to offer somebody that they're not comfortable with normally or isn't in their normal friendship circle, hey, do you want to come and get involved in this with me? Or putting their hand up, self-selecting to lead an activity or an experience. They're the types of transformations that you do witness a lot in the field through our programs. We did actually with one student at one of our sort of long-standing partner schools, we filmed the journey as part of our Heroes Journey, which is a Mardi Himal hike in Nepal. And so this student had been on many programs of jump over the years, and the school decided it would be a great way to showcase the Heroes Journey, as it's called, the program, by filming the student from start to finish. And the results of that were really compelling, but this isn't something that we share out to the wider market. It's not like marketing material that we use. So yeah, it's very hard for me to extract singular case studies for you to for this presentation, but yeah, we have many examples that we can speak to.
I love it.
And statements as well that we can share with parent communities as well.
Just let me, there's a couple of questions from our community I want to get to here, but I want to offer Justin just opportunity, like, again, in that same vein of the avatar, right? So the results, tell me about some of the parent feedback that you get, you know, when it's like, wait, hey, you know, like my child was this, and, you know, they've gone through a couple of experiential learnings and I've seen how they transformed, or, you know, we keep coming back because, wow, we've seen that. Like, what kind of feedback are you getting from parents?
Yeah, so I think that there's two different journeys. So one journey, and Jake's talked about this, is we partner a lot with schools and where we run a trip. And so on that journey, as part of that, we also give parents some questions to ask at the dining room table that I referred to. And one of the key questions is, what is something that you learned about yourself that you didn't know on this trip? And so the parent asked in the next dinner back, like, what's something you learned about yourself that you didn't know? And I think the resounding feedback from parents when they tell us what they hear is that they had no idea that that's how their child identified in terms of what they were possible of doing or what their dream was. Or so the element of these questions and the journeys that we create, students are going through this self-exploration. And so that parents then become way more aware of who their child wants to be, or what their child's ideas are, what they want the future to look like, or what their dreams are. For example, one of our activities is we get kids to, at the top of a hike, identify what's like one of their big life challenges and goals that they want to achieve. And so they hike for 5 days, and then they write it on a rock with a permanent marker, and they put it on the rock. And their challenge after they put it there is to go back and tell your parents, what's the one thing that you want to achieve in your life that's going to be extremely hard and difficult, and then ask them to be your champions in your journey. So they leave the mountain, they go back home, and then their parents ask them this question, and then their response is, this is one really hard thing that I want to achieve in my life, and I need you to help be my champion as my parent. Now, as that is a transformational moment for a lot of parents to have the help in facilitating that conversation, that dialogue in the way that we do. I think that's one of the positive pieces of feedback that we get. And then for our journeys that are not connected to schools, which we're running independently, I think that the main piece of feedback that parents get is that it was amazing for our child to have a young adult or a young person that can be their mentor and support them in a way that they don't have. And I think that's, historical cultures had lots of different adults helping young people. And in our current culture, it's really parents, immediate family, and maybe some teachers. But this gives, it's a different perspective, and it allows for young people to spend 10 days exploring and adventuring and have a mentor. Our facilitators, we call them, our instructors, actually become pretty strong mentors to most of the youth. And they maintain relationships in terms of after they go off to university and they're dealing with a challenging situation, they may ask for help from that mentor later on. So it creates an additional sort of ally and mentor for their young person. I think parents really enjoy that.
Fantastic. Thanks. You just answered one of the questions from Michelle Tan. She was asking if you offer programs independently other than through school. So obviously that's true. Second question comes from Daniel Green. Can you tell me if you offer programs during the term time as well as after school, or are they only sort of these 10-day sort of holiday camp kind of programs?
Yeah, so we have programs embedded inside the school program. So it'll be inside the curriculum. I mean, most big international schools in Thailand we work with, we operate NIST, International Schools Outdoor Education Program. And so we work with a lot of the big schools, and it's embedded inside it's considered a co-curricular program. So it's a mandated program. And then we also have International Year Award programmings that happen on the weekends. And then we have holiday and summer programming that happens. Those are called our expeditions. And so we have 2 sets of expeditions for middle school and high school kids in Bangkok, and then 2 sets in Canada for kids to go to Canada and explore Canada for 2 weeks.
Fantastic. Justin, Jake, I want to offer you the opportunity to put anything else on the table here before we wrap up our conversation. Jake, I'll give you the final word. What's something that you're super excited about for either JUMP or for experiential learning in general that we haven't talked about here, or that you'd like to put on the table?
Yeah, so with JUMP, I'll start with JUMP. Our impact with Bridge to Employment, I think we've done amazing things. Our impact team here, bringing students from underserved communities well on their way to further education, and actually helping to secure scholarships to universities for students here in Thailand. So that's something that really excites me, seeing how we continue to scale that impact as we grow as an organization. For experiential education as a whole, what excites me is realizing how we can leverage AI within schools to strengthen experiential education and the delivery of formal, more academic education as well, and how we can integrate experiential learning more into traditional academic study. I think the world is our oyster when we start realizing the full potential of how we can leverage AI tools, for example. So that's something that really excites me.
I love that. Justin, anything else that you want to put on there for that, what you're excited about?
Yeah, I think that the dynamic, and to jump off of what Jake was saying, is the future of education is fast evolving, and it's evolving quickly away from traditional structures of education and more to interdisciplinary learning and social emotional learning and human development based journeys. And I think that's the space we play in and we innovate in. And so to have a whole sector leaning more into us and into our space, I often have people say you're the most protected in the educational sector right now, because AI can't do what you guys do. And it's super fun, but it's also, I think, what kids need the most. And I mean, I think that there's 2 big books that are really important. One is The Anxious Generation. It was just released by Jenny Anderson and Rebecca Winthorpe. And then there's so that's Anxious Generation is not by them. Anxious Generation, and then they did Disengaged Teen. But basically, there's a generation of anxious kids and there's a generation of disengaged kids that I think our programming and this type of work really levers into the pain points that a lot of parents and schools are feeling around how do we get our kids to care about life, to get off their phones, and how do we help them manage their mental health. And I think this is the stuff that really does it and keeps kids healthy and safe for the long term, is giving them the skills to manage risk themselves.
Justin and Jake of the JUMP Foundation, thanks so much for taking time out of your busy days to speak with us. I really, really appreciate it. Never least, but you were last in the last presentation here, but we'll now move on to your video presentation, but I hope people will reach out and learn more about it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Stephen.
Hi, we're here at our jungle camp here in Khao Sok for our Grade 5 Field Studies trip. We work in close partnership with the Jump Foundation to develop this amazing program for our Grade 5 students. By leveraging the local expertise of the Jump team, we're able to develop a program that makes direct curriculum links to what we're doing in the classroom back in Singapore. The theme of this trip is all about life on land, and through this theme, students will experience a range of activities and engagements that will help develop a better understanding of the Sustainable Development Goals. Students will engage with the natural environment here on the program by first going to the national park and exploring different trails, seeing different animals and plants. They have a Q&A with the park rangers to talk about the endangered species in the area.
It was a really long walk, but when we came here, it was definitely worth it. I've never seen a waterfall like this close, like actually being in the water with it. So I think this was, going to be the best experience of the field trip.
Next we head out for Lake Day, where students travel on a longboat to a dry limestone cave to see natural rock formations and bats in their natural habitat.
So we went to Tarzan Island, so we just walked around the trail and saw the places. The boat ride, the water was splashing everywhere and it was very nice.
Are you excited to go on the water?
Yeah.
I learned how insects kind of grow and develop and how they change from one shape to the next. It was a bit scary because not all of the insects were very friendly, but it was also fun.
Today we are in this river trying to find rocks and scratching them to get paint and try to put it on our faces. It's very hard to find, but I found some.
This experience really helps students to be able to develop their independence and organisational skills, where they look after their belongings for the week, where they are able to advocate for themselves, where they socialise with peers outside of the classroom, and we see enormous growth in all of the students that attend these programs.
Thank you so much to the Jump Foundation, Jake and Justin, for coming out and talking to us today. Really, really appreciate it. That was a fantastic video there as well. I know that I want to go jump in a river because that just sounds like just a wonderful way to spend the rest of my day. But what I'm going to do right now is thank everybody for joining us. Thank you so much for coming to our 2025 online school fair, bkkkids.com. I want to put up here on the screen, here's all of the schools that we spoke with and all the organizations that we spoke with over the last 2 days. Absolutely fantastic presentations, just spoiled for choice across Thailand in terms of educational opportunities, support services, activities and whatnot. It's just an absolutely incredible ecosystem. And I want to thank everybody for contributing their time, their effort, and also for coming on and joining us here in this fair. I also want to remind everybody as well that if you want to go more in depth, we do have our 2025 International Schools Guide, and you can get that at bkkkids.com. You can get it at chiangmaikids.com, phuketkids.com. It's a free resource. It offers literally all of the information that you need to know to make a choice about what international school is right for you and your family. Remember as well that the guide not only is, a book that you can, find your information in, but also we have maps, online interactive maps that you can see where these schools are located so that you can, figure out what does it look like for your commute, or how does it play into other family activities, or where you want to be located in Thailand, specifically in Bangkok, Chiang Mai, and Phuket. And then finally, I want to give a shout out that our 2024 BKK Kids, Chiang Mai and Phuket Kids activities and camp guides is also available. Again, go to any of those resources or go to any of those websites and you can download this for free as well. And it goes beyond schools, right? It goes into what do we do as a family on the weekend, or what do we do, when there's those school holidays, or what are some interesting activities that we have not thought of that maybe are, will engage our child and, discover something new. So check out that activities and camps guide. You won't be disappointed for sure. And then finally, thank you for everybody who has joined us today, either if you join us live or if you're watching the recording of this. Please come over, join us at chiangmaikids.com, phuketkids.com, or the original bkkkids.com. And you can see it there, Facebook, YouTube, or just give us a shout out and email at info@bkkkids.com as well. I'm Stephen Laddick. I'm the director here at BKK Kids. We love it. We've been here for 11 years, and this has been an absolute pleasure to have our latest online school fair here. Wish you all a great day, and we'll see you next time.